Liberty Prime, back online.
Damn. Oh. Not them again. No, no, no. I'm not here. No, thank you. Alright. So, no loss.
Mike,
Yeah?
you really need to stop huffing glue.
Finally!
Yeah.
What?
The real action.
You too.
We'll show you things!
Let's see. It's a really good backup. Oh damn, it reloads fast as hell. Alright.
Let's kick it into high gear!
Yeah, baby. Feels good. Tech weapons allow you to charge up powerful shots that can pierce like cover to hit enemies. Yeah, it's not like I didn't shoot one who didn't deserve it. Oh yeah, which one he used was the bartender? I'm guessing that dude right there. I'm glad I sold him first. I didn't think they were gonna shoot me. I thought that was gonna be like the bathroom or something. You're good. Hey, bro. No. No! Fat fingered it twice trying to holster it. God damn it. Well, no witnesses or something. Alright, let me finish the job. Yeah, I don't know what happened in there, but it wasn't me. Well, while I'm here, see more tiger claws I need kicking.
かかってきなよ
Easy peasy. Alright. Oh, such a pain in the ass. You look like Dr. Disrespect. Wait, what? No way. Oh, that's hilarious. Like fun. Getting a little old. Let me try something. Stupid idea! Woo! I feel like it's not gonna work. Control. Hey, it worked! Use the train tunnels? Nah, we got everything else we can use.
I ain't catching this!
Like up here, there should be the shipyard. Not crap, it took a long turn. Can I just run? I don't want the car. Car sucks.
Lamar died, yeah, somehow. uh,
Everything's on fire. Talking now. Anyways, hope you guys had a good break too. I made a honey and Nutella sandwich. It was really good. Wonder why I get a phone call for some of them and then others I don't.
Save me! Ah!
Trying.
Just like that.
I've seen one of you. As I one-shot it. What a loser. Where'd she go? Oh. Yeah, she's free. Did you have to die right on his corpse? God, he's kind of in a bush. Come on. Yeah. See, punching solves all my problems. Is this car? Oh, that car. Okay. Yeah, we had just grabbed it. I was gonna give it more of a go because it sounds like an NASCAR like type car. I haven't given it enough love. Oh, it's still glitched from yesterday. It won't move. Alright, there's one more thing I forgot to check now I'm thinking about it. Roach 2.0. Come on, Roach. Come get me. Fuck! Alright, so that's happened. That was awesome. It just like, I'm coming, Dad, and catapulted. Wait, it catapulted the... No, this is the right one, okay. I thought this was the other one for a second.
there it goes. That time it worked. I've been feeling like there's a little bit of lag going on, but it's kind of behind the scenes. You don't really notice it unless you're trying to do stuff every 2 seconds, which is usually what I'm trying to do with my phalanx. I'm trying to turn them and crap, and that's when I start noticing the lag and things not wanting to work right. Why do they keep walking into trees? Thud. 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 Bunch of dorks.
The enemy draws first blood! Fight!
Amongst us. There ain't nobody that can prove me wrong.
Is it pulling me out of my armor just to talk to her? The fuck, game? The fuck? Let's try this again.
We got everything we need.
There we
So
go.
we're just waiting on you to make up your mind, 7-6. You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll.
Warning, BFG 10,000 is firing.
What happened? Oh, no. Okay, so I can't get there. Oh. Go!
Why would you do that? What is wrong with you? Oh my god, this woman is just getting herself killed half the time.
Got a light. Good morning, everyone. Alright, we're going to be doing some more Gamescom today, so if you're ready for that, let's get right into it.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors, the biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. And we're just getting started. Ready to jump into some gameplay? Then get set for Gamescom Opening Night Live, featuring the major announcements and brand new game trailers. Less watching, more playing? Then stop by Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from beloved indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indies, our show featuring the hottest new titles from the scene. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom cosplay contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Join live shows, esports tournaments, and creator events at the Gamescom Event Arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website gamescom.global and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. While you're there, make your voice count in the Gamescom Award. Vote for the most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course, they're back, hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, AP, crashing the party. You'll find our all-time favorite RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us, our initiative Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different... Great.
Guides has the search for... You need to spend money. Active.
In Echoes of the End, you'll play as Rin, a vestige born with volatile magical power. When her brother is abducted by a brutal empire on the brink of war, Rin's journey to rescue him reveals a buried conspiracy that could reignite an ancient conflict and destroy her homeland. Master fast-paced tactical combat that fuses swordplay with devastating magical powers. Take on human and monstrous foes and face epic boss battles that demand strategy and skill. Control time and gravity as you explore a fragmented realm shaped by Iceland's raw beauty, from molten lava fields to frozen ruins. You'll also work closely with Abram, a haunted scholar, to fight, explore, and solve puzzles. Your connection grows throughout the game, shaping gameplay and story alike. Let's take a look.
Oh, I remember this one. Actually, this one looked kind of cool.
Wouldn't you rather have friends among your conquerors?
Dead men make poor conquerors.
I think this was announced like a year ago or two.
This is Gamescom Studio on IGN. If you're a fan of games about stealthy, sword-wielding assassins, 2025 has already been jam-packed, but one of the deadliest around is still waiting to strike. Here to tell us about Ninja Gaiden 4, producer, director Yuji Nakao, and global project manager Joe Muntel, who'll be translating. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ninja Gaiden 4, this time around, we're following a new character named Yakumo. What can you tell us about Yakumo?
本作は新しい主人公ヤクモについて教えていただけますか？
そうですね。はい。今回の新しい主人公であるヤクモは、竜ハヤブサが所属しているハヤブサの一族とは対極に位置する裏の一族として、満を持して登場します。で、このヤクモに関しては黒竜の祖先になっているので、その宿命を断ち切るために戦っていくことになるんですけど、その目的が竜と対立することによって、竜との激闘が繰り広げられたりとか、その道行く敵、今回のメインの敵である竜神島だったりとかと戦っていくことになってしまうというそんな感じの物語になってます。
So the new protagonist Yakumo is a member of the Raven clan, which is a separate clan from Ryu Hayabusa's Hayabusa clan. And the Raven clan operates in the shadows of the Hayabusa clan, and Yakumo is on a mission to kill the Dark Dragon, which is the nemesis of Ninja Gaiden 4. And on the way to completing his mission, he will have to clash with Ryu Hayabusa, who has different motivations and objectives. And along the way, he'll also face off against the Divine Dragon Order, which you see him fighting many soldiers of the Divine Dragon Order in the footage that has been revealed up until this point.
I want to ask about Ryu in just a moment, but I think we're looking at the story trailer that you just debuted here at Gamescom. So, tell us about what you wanted to do when you were telling this new story for Ninja Gaiden 4.
そうですね。昨日オープニングナイトライブでストーリートレーラーが公開されてたんですけども、本作のストーリー、についてもうちょっと具体的に、教えていただければと思いますけど。
はい。まず時代に関しては忍者ガイデン3からしばらく経ったある日なんですけど、もともと忍者ガイデンの過去シリーズで、何度か復活しては倒してを繰り返していた黒竜っていうのが、空に浮かぶ死体として、出てしまうことになります。でその封印を解いて、黒竜を倒すためにヤクモは、セオリっていうヒロインと共に進んでいくんですけれども、一方でその封印を竜ハヤブサだったり竜神島っていうのが守らないといけないというところから、目的が違うことによって戦ってしまうことになるということで、その黒竜にまつわる黒竜が渦巻く物語になっていくので、その黒竜が実際どうなっていくのかとか、竜ハヤブサとヤクモはどうなってしまうのか、どういう戦いになっていくのかっていうところが見どころかなと思います。
So Ninja Gaiden 4's story is, it's set against the backdrop of this Dark Dragon nemesis. So the Dark Dragon has appeared in prior Ninja Gaiden titles, and in Ninja Gaiden 4, the Dark Dragon has been defeated a number of times, but in Ninja Gaiden 4, its husk is floating in the sky, and it is not completely annihilated yet. So it's actually been sealed away, and in order to completely cleanse the world of the Dark Dragon, Yakumo sets out to release the seals that are sealing away the Dark Dragon. And to that end,
awesome.
He teams up with another character who's been revealed, the
Shark
heroine
with arms.
Seori. And that is what leads to the clash with Ryu Hayabusa and the Divine Dragon Order, which their objective is to keep the Dark Dragon sealed away because they're aware of the risks that will present themselves if they decide to release the seals that are sealing away this nemesis, the Dark Dragon.
So how did you decide to go with the new protagonist and make Ryu more of a supporting character this time around?
今回は新しい主人公ということになるので、ヤクモメインっていう認識ですけども、それについリュウハヤブサじゃなくてヤクモをメインにしようと思ったきっかけについて教えていただけますか？
はい。今回チーム忍者さんとコラボレーションで、忍者ガイデン4を作っていくのにあたって、忍者ガイデン3からやっぱり時間がすごい経っているっていうところもあったりしたので、これから新しく忍者ガイデンを遊んでいただく方にもすっと受け入れてもらいたいなっていうところと、あとこれから新しい忍者ガイデンを作っていくっていうのにあたって、プレイヤーの目線で一緒に成長していけるキャラクターを作りたいっていうところからヤクモを入れることにしました。で ただですね、もちろん忍者ガイデンのアイコンとなっているキャラクターとして竜ハヤブサっていうのはしっかり立っておりますので、ストーリーに関してもヤクモでプレイするパートもあれば竜でプレイするパートもあったりとかっていうところでしっかりと物語には絡めていくので、往年のファンの方に関してもご安心いただいてプレイしていただければなと思います。
So, since it's been such a long time since the last mainline entry in, Ninja Gaiden, we wanted to, make a fresh entry point for new players as well. And that's why we decided to introduce a new protagonist in the form of Yakumo, who players can, grow together with.
It's kind of cool.
In, this,
Reminds me of
new
Sonic
game.
back in the
But
day.
with that said, of course, Ryu Hayabusa is the Ninja Gaiden icon. So, players can rest assured that Ryu Hayabusa will have a strong presence in the story, and there are dedicated segments in the story for Ryu.
I mean,
Ryu
Hayabusa is why we got the
as
Hayabusa
well. So,
armor in Halo.
Fans of Ryu Hayabusa will definitely have a great time with they're playing through the story of Ninja Gaiden 4.
Well, fans of Ryu Hayabusa, like IGN users Full Metal 6661 and Darkwing Spartan,
Hayabusa
would
is
love
like
to know, is Ryu's
honestly
new
why I
weapon
like shirtless or sleeveless shirts.
ユーザーからの質問も
I don't wanna show off my
来ていますけども
boulder shoulders.
竜の
Like-
武器種について、ですが、龍剣のみですかっていう、質問ですが。
そうですね。今回竜ハヤブサに関しては龍剣を使って戦うことになります。で、加えてですね、これまで過去作にあった忍法ですねを使い分けながら戦っていくことになります。で、反対にヤクモに関してはこれまで紹介した武器に加えて、それぞれのカラスの方という通常状態と、ヌエの方っていう、ダイナミックな、技の数々っていうのを楽しめるので、その竜とヤクモ両方を使って楽しんでもらえたらなというふうに思います。
In Ninja Gaiden 4, Ryu's weapon in the base game will be the Dragon Sword. But in addition to the Dragon Sword, he'll also be able to seamlessly use his Ninpo, so you can switch between Ninpo on the fly while in combat. And with regards to Yakumo's weapon variety, he uses his Blood Raven form to transform his base weapons. So
That's cool.
Each weapon itself is a pair. So there's in total 8 weapon varieties, if you will. So you'll be able to experience a wide, breadth of weapon
I
variety.
remember my
in
favorite from
the
Ninja
game with
Gaiden
both
being
characters.
the scythes. Dual scythes were
So
fucking
I don't think,
awesome.
in all the combat we've seen, I don't think
Just
we've seen any
shredding
ranged combat
everything around
except
you.
for shurikens.
And
Will
because
there
I
be
was
new
like
ranged
8,
weapons for
I didn't
either
use anything
Yakumo or
else.
Ryu?
そうですね、今までの
Even
映
if
像だ
there's
と
probably a more
遠距離の
optimal
武器
weapon,
は
I would
リア
just
され
like
なか
not
ったんです
scythes
けど、
all
それに
day.
ついてどうですかね。
そうですね、今回はですね、これまで使っていた多彩なアクションの中で、特にヌエの方っていうところに遠距離の技っていうのを集約しておりまして、基本的な操作の中で使える遠距離武器に関しては手裏剣のみになります。で、ただ昨日オープニングナイトライブで公開させてもらった映像の中で使っている新武器に関しては遠距離と近距離を両方使い分けて戦うっていう、非常にトリッキーな武器になっているので、こちらの武器は他の武器とまた違う経路になっているので、そういったところでその遠距離の遊びみたいのは十分に楽しめる形になっているかなと思います。
So in terms of long-range weapons, like you alluded to in your question, the main long-range weapon will be the shurikens. But using Yakumo's Blood Raven form, for example, each weapon has its own projectile techniques that you can use to attack enemies who are away from you. So each Blood Raven form has a long-range technique that you can use. But also, I invite players to look at the trailer that was revealed yesterday, where we revealed the Assassin's Tools weapon. So that weapon is kind of a jack of all trades, and you could really, be tricky because it has a lot of long-range options as well as close-range options.
Can you talk about how weapon upgrades work?
今回武器のアップグレードについて教えていただけますか？
武器のアップグレード、
多分武器の技についてですね。
そうですね。今回ですね、武器に関してはこれまでの忍者ガイデンアクションだったりとか、その基本的な操作に付随したものを習得できる体術っていうものと、あとそれぞれの武器に対する固有の必殺技みたいなものが存在します。
Yeah, I
で
wish their
そのまず
streams
前
just
者の
didn't
体
look like
術に
mud.
関して
I wish
は
they did 4K streams.
ステージの途中でアシストキャラクターに、お金を払って教えてもらいながらアクションを順次学んでいくっていうものになっていて、
Or record the
武器
whole
の方の特殊な
Gamescom
技特殊
and
な
then
技に関
post
して
the
は、
recorded version
まあ、
of
戦闘
their
で貯め
stream.
る武器の経験値を使って解放していくことになります。でそれぞれ体術の方は、まあ、忍者ガイデンならではのアクションっていうのを取り揃えてて、武器の方に関しては、まあ、ある種プラチナゲームズならではのダイナミックなアクションの数々っていうのを楽しめるように住み分けているような形になっています。
Yeah, so the way progression works in Ninja Gaiden 4, there are combat skills and then there's weapon skills. So combat skills you'll be able to acquire from this character called Tyron, who you'll meet in each level, and you can use Ninja Coin, which is the in-game currency that you obtain just through general progression defeating enemies. And within those combat skills, you'll find those legacy, Ninja Gaiden techniques. It's where you can find your Izuna drop and your flying swallow that you'll, of course, be able to acquire at a very early point in the game because it doesn't cost much currency. And then separate from that, there are the weapon abilities that you can, open up the menu, select your weapon, and you'll see this huge, variety of weapon techniques that you can acquire using a separate currency. It's weapon experience, and that's where you'll find those, very dynamic Platinum Games-esque, over-the-top, stylish abilities.
One more quick question before we let you go. A lot of fans are excited to play Ninja Gaiden 4. Are there any plans to release a demo as we get closer to launch?
最後、になりますけども、発売に、近づいてて一般向けのデモ私有を出す予定があったりしますでしょうかっていう。
そうですね、今回ゲームズコムで初めて一般の私有になっていて、雑魚敵との戦闘っていう、忍者ガイデンらしいプリミティブな体験から、今回から新しくさらに進化したボス戦まで楽しめるような形になってます。でこの後もですねちょっとまだ計画中ではあるんですけどいろいろな方に体験していただきたいので、そういった機会は積極的に考えていきたいなっていうふうに思っていますので、ぜひそちらもお楽しみにお待ちください。であと私有をしていただくと今ゲームズコムで私有していただくとこちらのピンバッジももらえますので、ぜひ皆さんこっちかな。ぜひプレイしてください。よろしくお願いします。
This one?
Yeah, so
No,
right
this
now,
one.
the general public who are visiting Gamescom, they'll be able to experience Ninja Gaiden 4, and the build we've prepared for the general public captures that kind of challenging, intense Ninja Gaiden experience. They'll be able to enjoy a boss fight as well. So we invite players to challenge themselves. With regards to future plans, we're still considering things, but we want to explore opportunities to allow more players to experience Ninja Gaiden ahead of launch. And if you do play the demo today, you'll be able to receive these pins of both Yakumo and Ryu. So if you're at Gamescom, please check out the demo and have fun.
Very cool. I'm excited to play. Thank you both so much. Ninja Gaiden 4 slices and dices this way onto Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and PC on October 21st. And right now, there's more Gamescom Studio here on IGN.
All right, cool.
This is Gamescom Studio on IGN. Up next, we're delving into an immersive 3D dungeon crawler developed by some veterans of the Gothic and Risen games, which may or may not involve some demon slaying. Here's Clarlin.
Who's in charge down here? You don't wanna know. Says who? Haven't you seen that cute, pretty statue in the Abyss Chamber? We better not talk about it too loud. They won't have ears, if you know what I mean. think I've seen enough down here. I wonder who ties your shoes for you in the morning.
I feel like that didn't say anything about the game, really.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. We've just about reached the end of our day one coverage here at Gamescom, but don't worry, because we're just getting started here.
That's right. Tomorrow we've got brand new looks at some of the biggest games heading your way soon, like Hollow Knight Silksong, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, the Order of the Giants DLC coming to Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and The Outer Worlds 2, plus Deadpool VR, and so much more.
And if you're excited for anything that you've seen here at Gamescom, show some love to the developers by wishlisting their games on Steam. You can find everything we featured today and tons more in the official Gamescom Steam event, along with other games worth checking out you might not even know about.
But for now, that's a wrap on day one of Gamescom Studio on IGN. So, from all of us here at IGN, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Set it on a repeat. Oh, it is on a repeat. Okay. So we can get the bits we didn't see yesterday, I guess.
The Cinefix Top 100.
Biggest place, the voice of Master Chief. Catch traces on those console
isn't even necessary.
Kind of IGN tree.
Just or gain friendships as well as take on the challenges outwards.
And that's exactly what Kyle Crane is doing, because like that's a side mission, but also the basics, right? So
Yeah.
you play as Kyle Crane, and that's a very unique, very special type of a hero for a survival horror game, because he's not only the master survivalist, like he's not only able to survive as long as he wants in this difficult, challenging environment, but in this game he also has access to a set of very special, very powerful beast-like abilities, which really allow him to kind of unleash
it's
all
just
of the
extra
rage,
crap
all
at
of
the
the everything that he has in it. And like the tagline for the game is that they
we can
were
watch it,
trying
it's
to
fine.
break him, but they
I was about to
created
put
a
us to
beast.
day
And
two,
why they
but-
were trying to break him? Because he was captured by this guy named the Baron. Baron is a crazy scientist who's trying to achieve something very, very sinister, and Baron was experimenting on Kyle for a number of years. Kyle manages to break out. So they didn't break him, and now he's ready to unleash his wrath. He's ready to take revenge, but for that he needs some help, and that help comes from the people that live in this beautiful valley that we see on the screen right now. This is the valley. The region is called Castor Woods.
Okay.
It's modeled after Swiss Alps, like little touristy towns in Swiss Alps. Lots of nature, lots of very beautiful vistas. But of course, this one has lots of zombies in it.
Perfect holiday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I'd probably go to the Swiss Alps as well,
Yeah,
just
of course,
to see it.
of course. But yeah, of course. Like the high season for zombies is there all the time. And actually, what we have here, so the town in the middle of the map is actually built to be almost like a parkour paradise. We really wanted to squeeze as much as possible out of this location, so players are able to seamlessly showcase all of their parkour skills, jump, run, wall run, slide, connect all of that together. How are you feeling? Do you want to fight some zombies?
No, I think we could, we got it. There's plenty of them around.
Okay.
We'll warm up to that, that's fair. Let's see some parkour, because
Yeah.
obviously that's so intrinsic to
Yeah,
Dying
absolutely.
Light
So
as
Dying
well.
Light was built on
Oh, wait,
parkour,
this
right?
is
Like
Dying
we have,
Light.
when we
Okay.
started working on the series, we actually asked David Bell, who's the grandfather of parkour. He's the inventor of modern parkour, to help us, to share his insights, his expertise. We got him in our studio, we mock up his moves, we asked him to basically tell us how close we are to reality, because one thing about Dying Light is we always put a lot of emphasis on immersion. We really want
I just don't like
to make
parkour.
players
I
feel
like
like
free
they
running.
are part of this world, like they are the character there. come on, Aaron. Like the whole QA department is looking at you.
You did.
It's a lot of pressure for a live
It's all part of the. It's all part of the plan. It's Dying Light, you know.
But I think it's worth saying that this is like you might look at the game, you might look at the screenshots and think, oh, okay, I see a machete, I see a guy, I see some zombies. It's just easy peasy. I go slash to zombies. Absolutely not. This is a survival game. This is a thinking man's survival game. So you constantly have to be on your toes. You constantly need to think like a survival to survive. Even if you're as a good player as Aaron, you have to constantly look at. You have to look at every step that you take.
It happens to the best of it.
And I can understand why Aaron is nervous. Like before coming here, we had a conversation that actually the whole QA team from which Aaron is, they were aware that he'll be playing, so they are watching right now, putting extra pressure on the guy.
I kept it quiet, and it was.
But don't worry.
Aaron, you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
And by the way, if I just made using the opportunity, let's just wave to our QA guys because they are really putting a lot of work into this. They are the most important part of the dev team in this very final stretches of the production because we are basically just 4 weeks from releasing the game.
So exciting.
Yes, so very close. Actually, maybe we can loot some stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good chance.
LFE Happy.
I love this layout so far. I mean, the town itself feels a little bit on the less living and breathing side of things for now, but it still feels so realistic, as if I've actually felt those textures and been in places like this before.
Yeah, so actually this is something that we are very proud about because like the whole world has been handcrafted by our level artists. And not only handcrafted, but also they've managed to put a lot of Easter eggs, in-jokes into the world. So like the posters you see there, like they have even scanned some of the items that they have in their homes, in their houses, and kind of brought them into like the virtual versions here in the game. I'm not sure we'll see that, but for example, there's a blanket like with a lion.
We might get a chance.
Yeah, we might get a chance to see that. So actually, that's a blanket that was kind of scanned, taken from grandma of one of our artists, and in a way to kind of honor her and put something very real into the game. We have the blanket and a lot of other different items. The whole map has been created by hand by our artists. That's why it feels so immersive. It feels real, like every square inch is different.
Yeah, you've really put heart and soul into it. I mean, the second game, obviously, it's in the title, Dying Light 2 Stay Human. So I think that's been one of my favorite parts of the Dying Light games.
Why did you jump like that?
Set aside from other games like that because it feels so realistic. And,
realistic also in the
combat.
Exactly. Representation of gore. So another thing about Dying Light, aside from parkour, of course, it's a melee combat focused game with lots of brutality, lots of gore. I think that's something that's very important in the zombie genre, that you really need to show the guts, you really need to show the blood, you really need to show the kind of the brains being exposed, the cuts being cut, heads being cut. I'm not sure how much of it can we show because I think the previous games were a little bit on the family-friendly side. But that's also a good thing because Aaron is having fun because he knows how to play the game. He spent hundreds of hours in it. But again, this is a game where you see zombies, you don't just run at them and slash them. Like, you really want to make sure that whatever you do makes sense, that you don't take unnecessary risks. That's a nice thing. Actually, maybe it's also worth mentioning that a lot of our combat in Dying Light the Beast is created using physics and ragdolls. If we have animations that are super short, just to represent what happens with the enemy that you are hitting. So, like, you will encounter hundreds of zombies here, but every fight with a zombie is different because the reaction is always different. Sometimes he hits an obstacle, sometimes he hits another zombie. There's lots of those cool emergent moments.
Yeah. You were speaking about some of the melee weapons that we've used already, like we've had machetes and all sorts. What sort of weapons can we find in the world of Dying Light?
There's more than 100 melee weapons, and of course the classic stuff for the genre. So I don't know, gas pipes, crowbars, machetes, hammers, axes, wrenches, things that you can basically find all around you. But also if you dig deep enough, and that's a very important aspect of Dying Light the Beast, that there are lots of secrets that you can actually uncover if you dig deep enough. You can find weapons like medieval swords, very unusual creations of the survivors. So really a lot of very fancy looking and fancy working and effective
Not me with the
weapons
flaming
that
claymore.
are really a lot of fun to play.
I like the sound of a medieval sword. That sounds pretty badass, to be fair. Do you guys have favorites?
Ooh, I wonder
What's
if
your
they put the
favorite weapon?
Zweihander in.
Samurai sword.
Samurai, of course, like a classic.
It's probably a boring answer, but yeah.
But for me, actually, it's a flamethrower, something new to Dying Light: The Beast. So for some reason, like even though we are making zombie games, we didn't have a flamethrower before. So Dying Light: The Beast, aside from the melee weapons and a big focus on firearms as well, introduces a number of new weapons. So flamethrower, grenade launcher, saw blade launcher, and a number of additional hidden stuff that you will have to find as you play the game. We are now living the time. We are now living the town, and actually that's an example of one of the open world activities. Like there are places like this all over the world with which you can interact. If you manage to survive, Aaron.
Yeah, they just came out of nowhere.
Remember your fault is
survival horror. I'm demonstrating exactly what we want, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And so, like military combos like
Alright,
this.
Shovel's the best
if you
weapon
manage to kill all
so
of the
far.
infected hero, or if you manage to outsmart them, because that's also an option. You can,
Of course,
for
he's
example,
really
use
bad
a
at
decoy,
running, I guess.
draw them to like away from this place, and then try to loot it. That's a very good place to find some ammo for your firearms. And as I said, firearms have really received a lot of love from us as developers in Dying Light: The Beast.
Okay.
He's a bit too big for now, I think, this guy, right?
Yeah, this one, yeah, like
looks,
let's not risk it. You already died once, so I
They're playing with fire.
like
so,
the
yeah.
guys back at home are making bets, like will he die again?
Yeah.
Oh, so firearms, there's a little bit more of a focus on.
Yes,
on
absolutely. Maybe we could actually use the rifle. What do you think? It will get messy because the thing about firearms is they make a lot of noise.
Got you.
So as soon as you start shooting, there's a chance that the virals, the fast-moving zombies, will come. Actually, I think there's one guy over there.
Let's go inside.
Yeah, let's try to hide. Like, we'll see if that works.
Safer inside. Oh my.
Yeah,
gosh,
but
okay.
Relatively.
A little bit, like it's never safe in the world of Dying Light. Like what I like to say is that it's
Aim
actually
for
one
the
of
head.
most dense open
So
worlds
disappointing.
out there, because basically every part of the map is something where you play the game, where you do some kind of interaction. Either you parkour, which is also like interaction, you click buttons, like you're trying to.
Bro's
go
just
somewhere, you make
wasting ammo to
decisions
the
where you
body.
need to go. Combat
It
same,
bugs
you
the
get
crap out of
surrounded,
me.
Suddenly there's a group coming from one direction, group from the other. Constantly something is happening. Like you are never bored. It's very intense, very dense experience.
Yeah. That sounds really cool. A lot to explore and discover, and hey, every kind of trip outside of the safe zone is probably not going to be exactly the same as before.
Yeah, so Dying Light was built out of emergent moments, and we actually we did fight with some of the guys with the tanks, for example, right? But actually we didn't trigger them, so maybe if there's an opportunity, but like, actually that's a nice thing, or maybe we can keep the.
I think there's some better opportunities.
Okay, so what happens right now is that because Aaron was fighting a lot with like quite intense, he managed to charge his beast mode, right? So
Okay.
now he can unleash it. So maybe we can actually see that here, like how effective he is with fighting those zombies.
Yeah.
Throws them
Punch
all
him to
around.
death.
Like he has those like
Ripped his arm off.
Doesn't need any weapons anymore. Oh my goodness, he ripped his arm right off.
Yeah, the
Flippin' it.
cat, like nothing is left like unturned and uncrushed and unsmashed.
Who's laughing now?
No one left unsmashed. No.
That sounded like you are saying it to the QA guys. Like, who's laughing now? Like, I'm here on Xbox and I'm playing this awesome
I
game.
can't confirm
Heck
it.
Oh, zombies don't need brains. It's fine.
Yeah, some of the new visual designs for our enemies. So of course, like you can see the game is really beautiful to look at. Even the zombies. Like if you are into zombies, it's good to make a pause or go into photo mode and try to see how detailed the models are, especially when you do some damage to them. We have increased significantly the number of places on their bodies which you can damage. We have, like when you cut a limb, you can cut it in 3 different places. You can really leave a lot of scars, wounds, like broken places on. Yeah, let's try to. Oh, that's nice, quite brutal.
I saw earlier
like
when you
that.
just left someone crawling because you cut his leg off, so that was quite mean for that poor zombie, I feel, as well. a nice
You
play.
care about the zombies?
Also, as you can see, there's a lot of versatility. Yes, like, emotions. There's a lot of varied ways how you can solve combat situations. That's also something that we were always thinking about when we were working on Dying Light games. We want to give players freedom where they go anywhere, climb anything, freedom how they fight. Actually, we're leaving the mission area, so like, of course, in the full game, you're not leaving mission area, so the freedom is open and you can go everywhere you want.
Yeah, I like the.
Oh, he's on the windshield. Shoot him.
Away. That's my favorite tactic for
Yes. But that's also like that's your choice, right? And again, like vehicles, another thing that's new to the Beast. Actually, maybe we can also show the FPP, right? Because you can drive from that perspective, like keep the immersion. So it is like it's nice to roam through zombies, blast through zombies with your vehicle, giving you a little bit of those Carmageddon vibes. But again, like a little reminder, this is a survival game, right? So like you need to think about how damaged your vehicle is,
and the gas. We're about to run out of gas.
Exactly, doesn't have gas. So I think we are slowly running out of gas. So
got to find a gas station.
Exactly. I'm not sure they're still working. You know?
Oh man. So with our new vehicles and things, is there different areas that we can explore around the world then?
No, so actually we decided to choose this one because it fits the environment most, right? So Aaron, when you get up, maybe let's just have a nice look around the place. So about
taking the view, I love that.
Yeah, taking the view, and we'll talk about vehicles. So we have chosen those off-road pickups because they fit the environment most. We didn't see that much of it yet, but the whole world is actually quite varied. We have the town in the middle, we have an industrial park, we have swamps, we have mountains with hiking trails, we have farm fields, so a lot of very uneven terrain. So off-road pickups seem to be most fitted to this kind of environment. So yes, you are driving that vehicle. There might be some things hidden, but I'm not spoiling that too much. But then you're also able to customize the visuals of the vehicle a little. So there's still quite. Oh, I think that's the blanket that I was.
This was the.
So this is actually the real blanket that you can find in one of our level artists' grandmother's.
Actually, at one of the playtests, some guy met me. He said the same thing. Like he recognized the blanket. So it's a very iconic.
That's so wholesome. So there we go. That's a challenge for everyone.
I don't know. Are we ready to go into the night part? Because we might do that. But a word of warning, because like Dying Light generally. Let's maybe look at some Vista before us. Okay, let's go to the night. So what happens is that Dying Light basically is a game of two halves. The day part that we have just experienced, if you are a good player, you are in control. You know what to do, like you know how to behave. You will kind of find your way around in this apocalypse. But the night part is something completely different. What happens is the volatiles, and I will scare you a little, so kind of sit tight. The volatiles, like the scary monsters, the apex predators, the kings of the night, they are coming out, they are roaming the whole place. And with those guys, you don't fight with them. Like when you see them, you try to run away as quickly as possible. Okay, maybe at the end of the game, where your beast mode is fully charged, where you have unlocked all of the skills for the character, because there's like a big skill tree of various beast skills that you unlock. If you are kind of fully formed beast mode Kyle Crane, you can fight with them, but without that, it's really, really scary. So maybe we can actually try to sneak upon those guys so we see them from close.
We'll go sneaky beaky.
You can see
probably
where
see
they
the whole
are
flashlight.
if you use the survivor sense. So that's like a special senses of Kyle Crane where we can see the threats.
There's so many volatiles in this one.
But it seems the volatiles are everywhere. Maybe actually what we could do, that's scary.
There's so many.
Yeah.
So yeah,
might as well just run.
Kind of sensor to see the volatiles around and other zombies.
All of the threats, but I think actually, so the chase has started. They are onto us, and now like it will get super, super difficult because
it's
the
right
guys,
behind them.
like the regular biters, the regular zombies, they're just zombies,
They're
right?
fine,
So.
yeah.
So you can avoid them, you can jump over them basically. With volatiles, they're chasing you, they're right behind you. It's actually good to look behind you from time to time. They're basically better at parkour than you are, so they can really
We've seen
grab
that
you.
for sure, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so you have to try and outrun them for now until we've built up our beast
Until he
ability.
dies, I think.
I don't fancy my odds very much. Yeah. But we'll try.
So what you can see at the top of the screen, the red bar shows you the intensity of the chase. So we are basically in the middle of how intense it can be.
What happens when it gets full level?
You're gone basically. Like it's time to restart the game. Yes.
Yeah, they're still on to me.
Oh, great. What other abilities can we see from Kyle's kind of beast mode abilities as
So
well?
actually, the beast mode will be very helpful right now because when you are in the beast
Why
mode,
does he
you can
keep
run
attacking
faster, you
things
can
instead of
jump
running?
higher. That's actually a very good way of escaping those volatiles. So they're laughing at you again, right?
No.
Okay, but just to finish the thought, maybe let's go back to the game
we'll
and I
be
will
back at
finish
this.
and I will finish the thought. So what happens is that again, the volatiles, what happens is
died.
that as they're chasing you, the beast mode, you get a number of combat skills that you, of course, is most used for combat. But then when you are running, when you are parkouring, they allow you to jump faster, jump higher, run faster, be able to reach places that are unreachable to regular human beings, right?
Okay.
So what's important then is that at some point of the game, you are able to actually control the beast mode a little bit more. At the beginning, sometimes the rage just overwhelms you, but then as you progress into the game, you get full control of it. You can trigger it whenever you want, and then you can use that to actually reach places, find secrets that you would not be able to do when you are in the human form of Kyle Crane. And again, that opens a new kind of way of exploring the map and a new way of interacting with the world.
Love it. Do you have a favorite biome from the game that you like? You were speaking about kind of swamp areas. Do you like the pretty cities?
Feels like
or
she
the
always wears
hills
the
as
same
well?
thing every time
I
I
like
see her.
we have a really nice storm weather preset. So I like the I guess it's the industrial. This area when it's stormy, it's very atmospheric,
Actually,
very nice.
The weather is like I would say the weather is very nice, but it's not like literally true because the weather tends to be very rainy and stormy from time to time and very gloomy. But it's nice because we have really spent a lot of technical resources on making sure it really looks very, very real. So it rains and you feel like it's raining and that you are there. So and my favorite biome, I would say, is the farm fields.
Okay.
So, but not when it's
Cozy.
raining, because when it's raining, it's actually not that good. What I like is farm fields in full sun. Like you see, like how yellow the grain is. It's really very beautiful to look at.
Love that. Well, can you tell me a little bit about, I'm really excited to dive into more of the survival kind of element, but what should players watching at home be excited for Dying Light? What about the story and more about the game that you want people to be excited about?
I think it's the best Dying Light game that we have ever created. So for the fans, I think it's sold already. But if you have not played Dying Light before, if you have not heard about Dying Light before, absolutely don't be afraid. Be afraid of the volatiles, but don't be afraid to test the game. You will get all of the things that make Dying Light a very special combination. It's a mix of open world and survival horror. It has top-of-the-class parkour, top-of-the-class melee combat, day and night cycle that changes the game as you play, and a very, very emotional, very interesting narrative. I think you will really feel something. You will feel the pain of Kyle Crane, how they were trying to break him, like all of the wrongdoings that happened to him. And then when he gets free, and you will also get free in the game, and you get a chance, you shot at revenge, it will really be very cathartic. You will feel how good it is to unleash this power in the game.
Well, I can't wait. I had so much fun playing Dying Light Stay Human co-op as well, so I'm really looking forward to maybe jumping into this one co-op.
Absolutely, co-op is
Heck
also
yeah.
supported. You can play with 4 friends in co-op. I can actually give you this
Amazing.
mask and 3 more, so you can play the masks.
We can play through the mask.
Exactly. And in co-op, it's like another layer of fun. The interactions, the imagined moments are squared compared to what happens when you play it alone. Alone, it's a very focused, very atmospheric experience. In co-op, it's just all-out fun. You, your friends, and lots of zombies around.
Love it. Well, do you know what? I'm going to come straight over to your guys' booth here at Gamescom and maybe give
You're
it a
welcome.
whirl,
Yeah.
please.
You're
As long
welcome.
as you guys play with me, so it'll be
Okay,
good. That'd be
good.
great.
Sure.
What can we look forward to from Dying Light the Beast
Exciting
next?
bit. Dying
What's
Light the Beast releases in 4 weeks, September 19th. So it's excitement all over the place. PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X. We can't wait for you to play the game.
Amazing. I can't wait either. Timon, Aaron, thank you so much for showing
Thank
me
you so much.
a
Thank
little
you.
bit about Dying Light the Beast. I can't wait to play more.
Thank you.
But for you guys at home, don't forget to pre-order your copy today. Now then, the Xbox Gamescom broadcast continues with some more trailers, including a world premiere trailer for a game that uses deck building as a metaphor for cooking to whip up something entirely unique. Then we'll hear from Double Fine's Tim Schafer about their new opus Keeper. And don't forget, we've still got World of Warcraft and Call of Duty updates toward the end of the day. And not to mention some news on a little indie game. And that's INDY, not INDIE. See you soon.
Morning. Nice day for fishing, ain't it?
What? Viva La Dirt made a game? COD Zombie. I say for fishing is an actual
Things
game.
are
That's so
peaceful
funny.
Here in Palopori. But beyond the wall,
So yeah,
something
Viva
has
La
begun
Dirt
to
made a
stir.
game.
In the face of danger, it's time to get to work. You see, in this world, not all heroes wield swords. In fact, some prefer the spoon.
Why not just have voice actors though?
There are some who believe that in order to save the world,
Also, there's a
you've
lot
got
of
to
furry
start
games
with
this
a
year.
really good meal. And
Or maybe
that's
not furry
exactly
necessarily, but you know
what
what I
our
mean.
caretakers need.
Ones where you play as animal people.
Your recipes might just be our only hope. Because let's face it, who can save the world on an empty stomach? The delicious meals you make will fuel the caretakers, so that they can battle the ravenous monsters threatening your home. Opening soon, Bistro.
It's Bistro. Beasts who run a bistro. It took me a minute, but I got there.
I don't get it. Well, Bistro is Xbox Play Anywhere, so if that game looks to your tastes, consider it just one more reason to get excited for the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. But now, it is our sincere pleasure to dig
I
into
honestly
the
don't like
latest
people that say
title from Double
ROG.
Fine.
Just say ROG.
Keeper
It's
has
like
been
people who say
turning heads
FOB
since it was
instead of
revealed
FOB.
during June's Xbox showcase, and here to bring us some
But they'll call it a Humvee
scene gameplay. It's Double Fine Productions
instead
studio
of
head
HM.
and
What
fan
is it?
favorite
HMM
Tim Schafer.
WV.
Tim, thank you so much for joining us. First off, it's so exciting to have you here. And this game, we're going to straight out the bat. It's clearly Lee Petty's baby in many, many ways. Bit of a Double Fine legend, I hear.
Yeah, he was our
Absolutely.
art director on Brutal Legend and Broken Age.
I mean, some of the best games you could ever reel off that someone's worked on. I want to know a little
I
bit
want
more
a
about
Brutal
what it's
Legend
like
2 so bad.
working with him and your team bringing his vision to life.
Well, Lee has a really, as you can tell from those games, a really strong idea of what a game should look like and how it should feel.
Yeah.
And he's someone who I've just come to really trust and rely to just have that kind of vision, also be able to execute it. He's really good at technology as well as art, and also leading a team full of people at Double Fine, because it's a very collaborative environment, so you have to have the right touch, you know.
Absolutely.
And so mostly what it's like working with him is I just leave him alone.
Especially you can trust day one he turns up and he knows by day end, he knows exactly what needs to happen. And as you say, it's an element of trust. I think that's really important.
Yeah, especially in a game without any dialogue, so I don't have to worry about him sneaking in any bad language.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Maybe he'll find a way.
We'll find a way to do it on
Yeah.
the stream when we play it, don't you worry. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, it does feel like this game is a bit of a new chapter for the studio. Like you said, it is wordless, so nothing to be said there, but it's still atmospheric, still surreal. So what would you say inspired Lee and the team to move in that kind of direction?
Well, a couple of things. When we were talking about what his next game should be, we were like, well, what could we do now? Because things have changed for us. We became part of the Xbox family. We have like support and resources we didn't have before. And we're like,
Please
what could
make
we
Brutal Legend
not
2.
do before? And what's a game that we probably could never get signed with a publisher? Something that would seem just too far out there, but would be a really personal thing for Lee and his, you know, wanting to do something really beautiful and strange, mysterious, and yet still really charming.
All of that
And also, I think at that time, a lot of things were going on with a global pandemic. I don't know if you heard about that, but we were all locked inside. And
like
the only way Lee found a lot of
whatever.
escape from that was to go on long hikes through nature. He'd go into the mountains and look at the nature around his house and think about...
I can see where this is going. Yeah.
about how the humanity is really threatened. We didn't know what was going to happen. We were kind of scared, and yet nature just kept going and changing and evolving and interacting with each other, and that was really inspiring to him. And he's also a weird guy who has like a lot of...
There was a lighthouse, that's right.
Grew up on like the Dark Crystal and Cronenberg films and surrealist painters, and so put those things together to make something that was chill like nature, but also a little weird.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see that in the game.
Yeah, when you mentioned Cronenberg films, I am now slightly worried for the Seabird, but I'm hoping that you're going to leave that bit out.
Well, you're just going to have to... The game's
Yeah, we're not getting anything today on that.
It's all about surprise, but it's not a horror game.
Yeah.
Although it's an interesting... Lee's vibe with this game is that it's not some super violent horror game with a lot of blood, but it's also not like just when you think of a cozy game, they're sweet or they're cuddly cats in it. But this is like it's got a weird vibe where the unexpected might happen.
Like atmospherically off. There's something amiss.
Yeah, something lets you know that you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, for sure.
What was it like when you started off with the initial sketches? That must be quite a fun time during the development process where you are still sort of hashing things out, but then moving forward to what we see today, how's that sort of transformation been?
I mean, it was fun to watch Lee and his small crew get together when they just started, and they were just trying different gameplay ideas out. You know, it really was a blank canvas for them to just experiment and experiment with things that are not just, when I mentioned surrealist painters, like it's not just melting clocks, but it's also like the procedure they came up with their art by like tearing up words to make new words, and so that it was fun to watch this process of when the sky's the limit, what you come up with, and watching it evolve to, of course, it just had to be a walking lighthouse.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I want to go back to what you're saying a little bit about the surrealists and paints. I want to stick on art for a moment, because naturally everything we've seen so far just screams beauty in Lee's deranged way.
Screaming beauty is what we call it.
Screaming beauty.
That's Lee's nickname around the office.
Love it. Can you tell us more about the art direction itself and how that ties to the actual mechanics of the game now?
Yeah, I mean, the art direction is, very specific vision of Lee's, but it leads to the interactions that you have in the game it is an adventure game that has puzzles, but they're light puzzles because it's really much more of an atmospheric experience, not supposed to get stuck on a puzzle. You can't die and you can't fail in the game, but you use the light that the lighthouse has to interact with the world and cause changes to happen. And you also have a companion named Twig, which is this seabird.
The seabird, yeah.
Twig, you can send Twig out to interact with the world too.
Very nice. I mean, you guys are very typically known for quite a lot of experiences that are somewhat reality warping, mind bending. Are we going to see those kind of same shades? What's really the vibe of Keeper?
Well, I
Tossed
mean,
at
I
his
think,
forehead.
We talk about the films that inspired Lee, like we mentioned David Cronenberg or David Lynch. Those films all have really weird, unexpected things happen in them. But it seems at first like nonsense, but there's a kind of a dream logic to it that makes it make sense. It means something, but it's not necessarily clear what it means, and it probably means more than one thing, and it's really open to the player to have this experience of playing this game and try and think about what all the different things mean.
Well, that's going to be interesting when it comes
It's
out and
really
see
cool.
other people's interpretations then, potentially,
Yeah.
of what Lee's getting at the game with the relationship between the Seabird and the Lighthouse. That's really
I
fascinating.
do love it. Now, I am going to ask you a really important question about the Seabird, Twig. Unfortunately, it's going to completely shape my opinion of the game. So, can you pet Twig?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't want to give away everything that happens in the game.
This is a simple yes or no answer, Tim.
The Lighthouse has no
Never gonna be.
arms.
I know, but you guys are weird and you find ways to make things
Smash
happen.
it with a little leg.
Can you smash it with a little leg? Is
Yeah.
also a nickname we call Lee. Can you pet something with light? Let me answer that question with a question.
Okay.
I think that's above my intellect to answer that. I'm going to just say yes.
Yes.
To basically make you do
I'm
it.
going to say, rather than just a simple pet, the companionship you'll feel with Twig is something much deeper and beyond physical affection.
Oh.
Am I going to fall in love with this bird, Tim?
It's the most. It's a.
Am I going to fall in love with the Lighthouse?
It's a yes to both those because it's a game that has no dialogue, no spoken words at all, but it is a very emotional storyline. Both the Lighthouse and the Seabird Twig have character arcs, and they go through changes and metamorphosis.
Yeah, nailed it. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. It happens to both of them, but it's all. We're only showing like the very early gameplay footage because things, believe it or not, get a lot weirder than what you're seeing.
Oh,
No
with
way.
you guys?
Yeah,
Never.
come on.
No, absolutely. So I just want to touch very quickly then, if we're not hearing them speak per se, is it environmental storytelling? The music, I'm assuming, is a really important part as well?
Yeah, the sound design, the animation, a lot of our animators try to make scenes work if you have the volume off, just as like it's the expressiveness of the Lighthouse still has a face-like level of expression. The bird is very expressive, obviously, and there are scenes that will make people cry in this game, I think.
I'm not ready for it,
Not
Charlie.
the whole time.
No, it will be the whole time, I swear. Look at the bird. He's going to make me
sweet.
weep already. Well, obviously, we got studio here, Henry, so I do have to ask. People are always curious about you guys, what Double Fine is cooking up behind closed doors. And the last time we spoke to you was back in 2021, where we saw Psychonauts 2. So what have you been up to since then outside of Keeper? Can you actually tell us anything you've been doing?
Well, I'm here to announce right now that we are making other games too. We have multiple games going on at the studio. And the thing I will say is that they're all brand new. They're all brand new IP. We did Psychonauts 2, and that is keeping us fine for sequels for a while.
Great work on that, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of team effort. Here's some footage of the team.
Yeah, they are working, right?
Except for that guy who's just walking around.
Yeah.
Get to work, Bert. Yeah, we're working on new projects that are brand new IP, and we're excited about sharing them someday.
Oh,
Okay.
just for someday.
You need to make sure you let us know now, 'cause we're all
We'll let
best
you tell you
pals
first.
and-
Yeah.
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 Sounds good. Well, Tim, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts on Keeper that you'd like to share?
Well, let's see. Do we talk about the bird? Yeah.
did the birds.
Yeah. Bird. There's puzzles.
Yeah.
Got
Mentioned
that.
Puzzles.
Check.
Have I mentioned that it's weird but chill?
Yeah, kind of.
More or less.
Did I mispronounce metamorphosizing?
Yes.
Great. Okay.
No,
then that's
I
all
didn't
my
hear
talking
that.
points.
Perfect. We've absolutely named them all, and just in time because we have some harder questions for you. Me and Henry are going to start grilling you. A little game that we like to play on Xbox On called This or That.
I can't think quickly, but I'll try.
Well, you're going to have to think pretty quickly. Henry is going to fire some questions at you, and you can either give us one-word answers, or if you need a minute to think, that's fine. But there's some pretty good questions, I won't lie. Henry's nailed
I'll do it
this.
as fast as I can.
Game for it?
Lock
Okay.
in.
All right, let's play this or that with Tim Schafer. First up, Jack Black in Brutal Legend or Jack Black in Psychonauts 2?
Oh, well, you could put those together and get Brutal Legend 2, which is not something we're working on.
Nice, I like that.
I'll save it for that.
Would you rather work at the Department of Death as a travel agent, or would you rather work as a Psychonaut?
Psychonaut. It has a lot more personal career growth possibilities. They have badges, whereas Manny had kind of a dead-end job.
That's true. Well, seeing as how you'd like to be a Psychonaut, this is a good question. Telekinesis or clairvoyance?
Well, you can do so much with telekinesis, but clairvoyance lets you see how people see you, which is terrifying, and I don't want to know it, so I'll go with telekinesis.
Good pick. Okay, Rad or Raz?
Oh, Lee's game, Rad.
Uh-huh.
Post-apocalyptic 80s roguelike action game. Or Raz, who's a human being, but fictional. But, I'll go with Raz because he's on Game Pass.
Oh, I like that. Would you rather be a lighthouse or a seabird?
Oh. Well, seabirds are cool, but lighthouses get pooped on a lot. And in general in life, what I'm saying is you'd rather be the pooper than the thing that gets pooped on. So I'm going seabird.
Unfortunately, I think I agree, and I never thought I'd have to agree on that statement, but cool. Do you prefer talking animals or sentient objects, if they were real?
I mean, it depends on the object and the animal. I'd rather know what, like, my cat is thinking than know what my toilet is feeling.
Oh.
And I'd rather my toilet not have any thoughts at all.
Yeah. We're going down a real
Gross
theme here right now.
I apologize for the gross examples, you guys. I don't know why.
We're never doing this game again.
Picture of a safe and a rat. I could have gone
so
with
done. Fantasy or sci-fi?
Science fiction, sci-fi. I like the music better.
Yes, my guy. Okay, would you rather have tentacles or two heads?
Instead of, well, I'm going to go tentacles because two heads is just like another mouth to feed.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Okay. Do you prefer boss fights or platforming?
I like platforming on the way to a boss fight. You can have a boss fight at the end, but platforming.
Okay. Now for the big question.
Go.
We're in Germany. I have to ask this. Currywurst or strudel?
Is that what it looks like? Oh, currywurst and
yeah, that's the best ones we could find.
One's sweet and one's really goopy, but the Schaefers come from a long line of German sausage makers. No joke.
Right.
So I'm going to have to go with the currywurst.
Okay,
Is
there
it
you
first?
go.
There we go. Currywurst.
I think they'd say currywurst.
You should know.
Yeah.
Hang on, big up the family tree and then say it wrong.
Well, thanks again, Tim. This has been a lot of fun. Remember, guys, Keeper launches on October 17th, 2025, but you guys can wishlist it today. And of course, there is still tons more to come up, including this exciting update from our friends at Square Enix that should make those of you anxiously awaiting an Xbox Ally on October 16th pretty happy. But then, stay put for the latest developments in World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and more on Chronos: The New Dawn. Live from Cologne, Germany, this is Xbox at Gamescom.
Xbox ゲームファンの皆様、こんにちは。スクエアエニックスの浜口です。私がシリーズディレクターを務めるファイナルファンタジー7リメイクがいよいよ Xbox プラットフォームに登場します。1作目となるファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードでは、主人公のクラウドとその仲間たちが世界を支配するシンラカンパニーや宿敵セフィロスと戦う姿が描かれます。鋼鉄の都市ミッドガルを舞台に繰り広げられる星を巡る壮大な物語をぜひその手で体験してみてください。さらに本作には忍びの少女ユフィを主人公とする番外編も収録されているので、合わせて楽しんでいただけます。本作は Xbox Play Anywhere に対応していますので、 Xbox シリーズ X&S、Xbox on PC、さらに Xbox Ally でもプレイ可能です。いつでもどこでもあなたのスタイルでファイナルファンタジー7の世界へ飛び込んでください。 Xbox 版のファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードはこの冬に発売予定です。ウィッシュリストに登録してファイナルファンタジー7リメイクシリーズの新情報をお待ちください。それではダンケシェーン。
It is kind of funny that I forgot they're in Germany right now. So yeah, the Danke. Oh, is this that new soccer game? Where you do like 6v6 or whatever? Oh, it's more like Soccer Street. Like how they had NBA Street and all that. Probably do tricks and stuff on people.
You just saw the world premiere trailer for Freestyle Football 2 here on Xbox at Gamescom.
Never even heard of it.
Now you're right
Let
on
alone the
time
first
to learn
one.
about all that's new in World of Warcraft.
I guess people
I
liked
talked
it.
with World of Warcraft Senior Game Director Ian Hazzakostas and Associate Director Paul Cubitt about the exciting updates in store for players. Now, first of all, right, Paul, welcome to the show for the first time.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and Ian, welcome back as well. Like, you were here last year revealing the World Soul Saga with the War Within. Welcome back.
Time for Chapter 2. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, I can't believe I've seen your booth. I'm going to say it. I think you probably got one of the best booths at Gamescom. I was walking around earlier and was like blown away by it.
I'm biased, but you're not wrong.
Yeah,
it's super cool. Yeah.
It's really, really cool, especially some of the updates, which we're going to be talking throughout this segment about. But you kicked things off last night, with Opening Night Live, and that cinematic. Could you kind of explain for people that need to know about what that kind of showed, what's happened up to that moment?
Sure, I guess a little bit of a story so far for the World Soul Saga. So yeah, gist of the story of War Within. So heroes around Azeroth began hearing these voices, seeing visions, these like dark omens, from messages from the World Soul herself about, you know, darkness coming. That led to a surprise attack on the city of Dalaran, the destruction of our beloved city of Dalaran, and the nature of the threat facing us being revealed, this powerful entity known as Xal'atath. So over the course of the World Soul Saga, over the course of the War Within, we've been trying to kind of keep up with her. She's been one step ahead of us along the way. At the culmination of the War Within, as we just discovered, she kind of ascended to a new tier of power and is finally poised to really unleash the power of the Void upon Azeroth.
Yep, and that leads us directly into what we saw in the trailer yesterday, which is Xal'atath and her devouring host at the gates of the Sunwell, ready to, you know, threaten everything that's dear to us, and you know, our beloved elves, Lor'themar, Liadrin, and the rest of them, all, you know, mounting a defense along with you know, an intercession from the Sunwell itself. Super exciting stuff. That is the beginning of the expansion, which you saw in the trailer there, and that leads directly into the story.
Yeah, I still can't get over last year with the War Within, with the VR experience for the destruction of Dalaran. But, like, that was one of my favorite cities in the old expansions. But we're also returning to some areas that players are going to really know. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, if Dalaran was one of your favorite cities, it was one of mine too. Wait till you see Silvermoon V2 in Midnight. So we are, you know, going to be returning to, among other areas, the old Blood Elven lands, first introduced in Burning Crusade, fully reimagined and expanded now. It's Eversong Woods, the Ghostlands, and of course Silvermoon City. Still, you know, a Horde city at heart with some Horde-only districts, but under these, you know, pressing circumstances, they have opened their gates to the Alliance.
What I want them to do is any race, any side, then it might go back.
First of the zones that we have.
Because I always wanted to be a Tauren hunter on the Alliance side.
We first
So I
saw
like their
Zul'Aman back in
NPCs
Burning
better.
Crusade era as in the form of a raid, but it's been expanded into this enormous zone now. Everything in that zone is big. It's sort of like a primordial Pacific Northwest. Everything's a little wet too. A very, very cool space. We also have Herondar, home of the Heronir. This is, you know, the Heronir we met during the War Within. They're a race who are sort of this enigmatic, elf-like race. We don't know a whole lot about them. We're going to learn a lot more once we go to Herondar and learn that not all of them are as welcoming as the few we've met, you know, Orwena and her crew in the War Within. And lastly, we're going to go into the Voidstorm. This is basically Xal'atath's space of operations, where she is mounting her attack against Azeroth. We find our way into the Voidstorm and take the fight to her and the Devouring Host. Super exciting, a bunch of beautiful zones.
Yeah, I can't actually wait for Zul'Aman again. I still have memories of just the endless attempts of trying to get the Imani Warbear with that speed trial. So it's going to be really fun to go back. And of course, go to Silvermoon as an Alliance player. It'll be fun. But with all these new areas, what are some of the activities that people are going to get into when they go there?
Well, the first, I think, is you're going to have the campaign, you know, a new campaign that takes you through these zones, and it does so in an interesting way. You'll start by going into, you know, into the city of Silvermoon and then into Eversong Woods, but after that, players are presented with a choice. Do they want to go to those two of those other zones I mentioned, go straight to Zul'Aman and learn a little bit more about the Imani trolls, what's going on there? Do they want to go into Herendar and learn about the Heronir? Or do they want to go on a third chapter of the campaign, which is actually a little bit different. It is not tied to any particular zone, but it takes you to some of the older places in the world, places like Light's Hope Chapel, places like Strathholm, a couple other interesting places as well. And in that quest line, you'll be working alongside Eretor, son of Turalyon and Ilaria, and helping him sort of interrogate his relationship with the light. Really interesting chapter. After you complete those 3 chapters, those 2 zones in the Eretor chapter, then you move into Voidstorm.
It sounds like if people actually read the quest details.
Of which zone is, which storyline is most interesting to them.
Click,
and it's all done in a way which
accept.
also leads you through
Okay,
a couple
click 7
different delves.
feathers.
You'll play through a couple delves as part of the campaign, and a couple dungeons as well. And culminating with the campaign leading you directly into a couple of our raids. And those are some really interesting dungeons and raids we have put together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as of course, alongside the zones, full complement of our bread and butter features for group gameplay, delves, dungeons, and you'll note that Paul said raids, plural. So I think we were kind of breaking from recent tradition in Midnight, and our initial season is going to have not 1, not 2, but 3 separate raid zones for a variety of environments, a variety of foes that will kind of unfold themselves over the course of season 1.
I actually love that, because like back in like Karazhan and stuff like that, where you'd go to like Gruul's Lair, it's nice to have that variety hopping in. But for players that are hopping in for the first time, right? Because I think the World Soul Saga has been great at bringing in new players and also returning players. What kind of features have you got for them to hop back in?
Yes, so I think we want to make sure that, whether you've played War Within and you're ready for the next chapter, or whether you're coming to World of Warcraft for the very first time or coming back from some long time away, that you can jump back in, understand what's going on, and join the action. And so we have a revamped and reimagined new player and returning player experience. The leveling experience seamlessly incorporates both Dragonflight and War Within content to get you fully caught up to speed. For returning players who may be, a higher level but not quite ready to go straight to Midnight, we have a new experience set in Arathi Highlands that's going to kind of, get you back up to speed on your mechanics, recontextualize you in the story of the world, and send you on your way so that you can join the fight in Midnight.
Yeah, we've also added a catch-up quest line for the War Within. So sort of going into Midnight, if you never played the War Within, or if it's just been a little while and you want a refresher, you can play through all the major beats of that story in one quest line. It should not take the couple dozen hours that it would normally take to play through all 6 zones that make up that quest line. But it'll be a couple quick hours to go through all the big cinematics, all the major beats. By the time you're done, you should know everything that happened from the beginning of the Isle of Dorn to the end of Ghosts of Koresh, and be fully up to speed to hop right into Midnight.
Yeah, no, that's amazing as well, because it's a bit more like welcoming as well to kind of like drag one of your friends to hop in and play with you and explore that, which I'm excited about. But there is one feature, and it kind of goes back to your booth as well, right? That has been requested for so long, and we've got to touch on it. I was watching it as well, your Creator Clash earlier. Player housing. Can you let us know what we're going to experience with that?
Absolutely, yeah. We are super excited for people to start stepping into housing. Housing has been a feature which has been in development internally for a long time. We've been sharing little details as we've been developing it over the last year or so. Here at Gamescom, people are finally able to hop in and start, playing with the decor, playing with those systems for the first time. What housing is you can have your own little corner of Azeroth. If you play both Horde and Alliance, you can have a Horde home and an Alliance home, and start decorating those spaces with decor that you'll start with the generous, creative decor that the system sort of just gives you, but then you go explore the world. You might find vendors who sell some interesting tchotchkes here and there. You might work with other crafters on your server who can make some interesting furniture for you. But you take all those things, you collect them, and then express yourself in a way that we think is, really just lets players express themselves however they want.
Yeah, really, I think boundless self-expression is really, it's like a hallmark design pillar of the feature. We kind of threw out the entire rule book here, including gravity. If you want a table that floats in midair, you want a table that's upside down, you can do it. I think we really wanted to unleash players' creativity.
I feel like all of this is 20 years too late for me.
Of their personality. And it's not just
but if you guys dig it, I mean,
that is
go
your
ahead
own.
and
You're
play
also
it.
going to be part of a neighborhood
I just
community.
know I can't do
So
MMOs anymore because it's like my crack.
Didn't feel solitary.
I would literally get home
that you were
from
kind of
doing
connected,
military
that
stuff
there's
and
reasons
just
for
jump
others
on
to
the
come into
game.
your home, for you to go into
And I was
theirs,
playing
and
since
for you to
I
feel
think
like part of the
beta
group.
No, it's
or
amazing.
alpha,
Also, for
alpha
people
or
that have been
beta
playing for a long time,
World of
so one of
Warcraft.
the first things I wanted to know when I heard about player housing come in, been playing since the Burning Crusade. Am I going to have some extra cool bits to add into my house for that?
You should, yeah. If you've been playing for decades, as it sounds like you have, then yeah, there's plenty of achievements that you would automatically have completed that would grant you decor if you've advanced your professions. You may have access to build some of those things that would take other people a little bit more time to get those professions to the point where they can build that particular piece of decor. So yeah, we want to make sure that people who've been playing for a while are rewarded for that play. Of course, this also comes along with that we don't want to have any of that be exclusive. So if you are just coming into World of Warcraft for the first time in Midnight, none of those should be opportunities that were only accessible to you in 2008 and they're gone. Anybody can go back and get that stuff whenever you like.
Yeah, I can already tell, like Sam from our team will be hanging
Games
a
fell
war
off
wave up
after
above his
Burning
door.
Crusade
Like,
changed my mind.
But one of the big things as well, right? People aren't going to have to wait for the launch of Midnight to get their hands on player housing, are they?
No, they are not. Player housing will actually be coming before Midnight in our final War Within patch, 11.2.7, coming later this year. So anyone who owns Midnight at that point can claim their first house, begin decorating it, and all players, even if you don't yet own Midnight, can start building their collection of decor, though you will need the expansion to actually have a house to put it in.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm excited for it, but what's next for the team? Now, you've kind of announced Midnight, you've shown the cinematic trailer. What's next?
I mean, excited to get back and kind of finish this game. We're going to be talking very soon about our first public alpha tests and then a larger beta to follow. And all of this, getting player feedback, helping polish the game, and building towards a release in early 2026.
Yep, and we're going to be here at Gamescom all week as well. Ian and Maria Hamilton will be talking tomorrow about some of the characters and zones within the expansion in a little bit more detail. And then later on in the week, Ian and I will do a big systems download where we talk about a lot of the systems that make up the game.
Yeah, I was going to ask about what else can players get involved, viewers get involved in with World of Warcraft, because you've got so much going on. We mentioned the Creator Clash earlier. Are there more shows out today? The streams people can go watch as well afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. There's, I think, various live events going on from our stage all week, and then we're going to keep rolling information out. I think this yesterday was the beginning of just letting people know what we've been up to, and we're going to have more and more information and opportunities to engage. We'll have videos, streams, and more just coming all through the fall.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't say thank you enough. From coming on the show last year to talking to us Midnight today, Paul, Ian, thank you so much. And also, from tons of new titles coming to Xbox Game Pass, the Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated on Xbox. We've already witnessed so much cool stuff here on day one of Gamescom, and we're not done yet. We're about to get down and dirty with everyone's favorite archaeology professor. But first, let's refresh with a quick power wash break.
Gosh, it's just so strangely satisfying. And hey, if you happen to uncover any ancient artifacts in the mud, then I know just who to call. Indiana Jones fans, get ready to take on new challenges of impressive proportions. The Order of Giants expansion is almost here, and it's set to shake up the world of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Joining me to talk through the new locations, new puzzles, and some truly monumental enemies, please welcome Machine Games lead game designer Zeke Variant and creative director Axel Torvenus. Welcome, guys. How are you today? Really excited to be here. I'm so excited to talk to you. Zeke, it's lovely to meet you for the first time. Axel, it's great to see you again. I'm so happy to be chatting about the new expansion. So, to catch us up, if we haven't already played the game, first of all, what are you guys doing? I've had a great time playing it. But for those of us who haven't maybe had a chance to dip into the world of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, what would you say is a great thing to get us used to the Order of Giants, and how does it fit in with the game so far?
Yeah, so the Order of the Giants is an extension, so you can start playing it right from the beginning of the, well, not right from the beginning of the game, but as you journey through the Vatican, it's a natural extension into the plot of the Great Circle, and so it fits quite well in.
No, that dude stopped yelling in the background.
Well, I mean, it's basically about deepening the mystery and the lore about the Nephilim and the
Dude's
Order
like
of Giants.
screaming his head off
and
out there.
It takes place and it starts off in the Vatican. That's where the game, the DLC kicks off. And from there we will venture into a lot of new areas, new biomes, new puzzles, new mysteries, a lot of new exciting content for you to enjoy.
Very exciting. I can't wait to see what kind of the new locations are, because one of my favorite parts was obviously exploring some of the ancient Egyptian tombs in the main game, because I've loved ancient Egypt ever since I was younger, so feeling that through Indy as well was so class. I can't wait for that. Now, Axel, you're mentioning the Nephilim Order, and I really loved Locust, obviously, in the first, the main game. But tell us a little bit more about the lore behind the Order and the giants we can expect in this game.
Absolutely, and without giving away too many spoilers, because that would be boring, right? But the core premise is that within the Vatican you will encounter this mysterious character, Father Ricci. He is very obsessed with this idea of a secret chamber and a certain artifact and a relic that he's hunting for. And he asks Indiana Jones for help to unravel the mystery of him. And that sets you off on a path where we dig much deeper into the background story and the background lore of the Nephilims and the tribe of giants, and how that connects with both the Vatican and Rome as a whole, but also there are hints and hooks back to the main game.
Got you. Very interesting. So, do you think, would you say the story itself is quite self-contained? How much of that is, or how much does it affect the main game, or how much can be enjoyed independently from it as well?
Yeah, so it is self-contained, but it also it's something that you should be able to experience from the first playthrough as you get through the Vatican. You find Father Ricci. You can go on this quest, or if you've already completed the game before, you can come back to the Vatican. He's there, and that'll put you off onto a new quest as well.
Love that. I can't wait to experience it then as well. Now, as we're looking forward to that, I really enjoyed some of the side stories that we would go off and do, the adventures with Indy, or even just snapping some pictures. So lots more of that to look forward to in the Order of Giants.
Oh yeah. So we have like lots of brand new puzzles, lots of new mechanics, new enemies, and all of our puzzles are like fresh. We were new mechanics, and we're not recycling anything there. As well, we also have 2 new adventure books that you can find, tons of notes that will give you backstory about the history of the Nephilim and other things. And as Axel has said, this is the kind of content that ties into the story from before. Like, you'd be able to find out more about some things that you kind of maybe overlooked, and also about the story to come. So in your journal you'll have all these notes, and it fits right into like that journey of filling the journal from like the very first note you pick up in Marshall College all the way to what you find in Iraq.
Heck yeah. Oh, that sounds so exciting. I wanted to ask about the adventure books, because I love the way you guys integrated that as a way to level up Indy's skills and stuff. I wish I could do that. I mean, yeah, I guess reading does help develop new skills, so there we go. But yeah, we can expect to see some more and maybe collect some more in the DLC as well.
Yeah, 2 new adventure books, and of course these are things that you need to go exploring around to be able to find. These are not locked. These aren't just like standing out in the open, but you need to go exploring, find little puzzles, solve mysteries, and it fits right into the whole idea of being Indiana Jones, being curious and always open for discovery.
Got you. You guys must be so smart doing puzzles all the time in game and in the office and stuff, crafting these ones. Wow. I'm jealous. So let's talk a little bit about the process of creating the expansion itself and the development. Maybe Axel, you can start us off. How did the success of the main game and the Great Circle inform your decisions going forward into the DLC?
Yeah, so it's always been the plan to kind of deepen the story and dive deeper into the aspects that we do have in the DLC. And with that being a very conscious choice, we also could make sure that we had good integration. So the game, the DLC takes place and it kicks off, within the Vatican, and there was not an easy thing to have that from a technical point of view to actually function. There's a lot of hard work from engineers and designers that's just working under the hood, that it's basically this kind of seamless transition into a DLC. So there's a lot of hard work that has been ongoing to make sure that you don't really notice that we are swapping out maps and doing a lot of technical mumbo jumbo. But it's in the end, it is this kind of seamless transition that we always aim to have. And I think that part of that conscious choice very early on helped us making sure that the experience in the end when you play the DLC is that it fits perfectly within the Great Circle experience.
Love that. I mean, I don't want to gas you guys up a little too much, but I just had such a blast with the first one as well, especially with the puzzles and also just uncovering the Vatican and all of the locations we went. And even some of the performances were just so incredible. I was not to name drop, but I was lucky enough to talk to Troy Baker and Marius, obviously, about their characters in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And Troy was saying about how the main point from himself and also from you guys developing it was to really put the player in Indiana's shoes. Yeah. It's not Troy Baker's Indiana, it's yourself. Absolutely. It's the player's Indiana. So that's so cool. And coming on to the players and how they've enjoyed the game, how do you think the community feedback has really helped shape the Order of Giants going forward and a lot of the decisions you guys have made?
I mean, at Machine Games, it's always important. We always listen. We love to get, community feedback or player feedback, to hear from the fans. And one thing that stood out to us after releasing The Great Circle was that the thing that we really wanted to try to convey with this game was things that were appreciated by the fans as well. And when listening in on certain aspects, like could this be tweaked, could this be polished, that absolutely helped our process moving forward. But we did already obviously had a very strong vision and a plan for what to do. But there are a lot of micro decisions within the DLC and the development of it that is in relation to listening into the community and the player feedback. It's we had this opportunity to be able to polish some things even further. There are sections within the DLC that is even of higher quality than the main game, just given to the fact that we had more time to polish certain aspects.
I would say it was a really great place to be in terms of confidence on development side, on design side. Like being off the base game and going right into DLC, all of the level designers really had a nice chance to just start making new puzzles from, after years of working on a lot of content that had been started long before. We had a lot of new people join, and so this was their first time to get to take a puzzle from start to finish, and it was just, having the success behind it was, and all the fans saying that they wanted more was just the greatest impetus. It was
Heck
nice.
Yeah, that sounds really refreshing as well, really gearing up. I love that. Well, speaking of developing it, and Zeke, maybe you can give us a little bit of insight behind the curtains and what the team were up to. Was there any fun fan favorite moments from or experiences that you could share with us from the team about making Order of Giants?
I was thinking, I think maybe, getting one of my favorite parts about developing the core game, and I think this plays into the DLC a good bit, was just we have all this stuff that you're able to use to beat up bad guys. It's a shovel, it's a plunger, it's a shower brush, and this is a sort of thing that we had early in the game, and just as we started to develop it, it's oh, this is super fun. And at some point we realized later in development, we need to have more and more and more stuff, but nobody had made that list. But one day the associate game director, like Frederick Ljungdahl, stepped forward and he was like, "Hey, Zeke, I just have this 150 weapons that I would like to suggest." And so I think that carried on through, the base game, and actually as we started into the DLC, it was just like, what are we going to be able to hit our enemies with now as well?
Flip, that's a lot of choice. I mean, India is certainly well equipped there. That's sick.
Yeah.
Well, I have to ask, guys, when and how can we access the new update?
Yeah, so on September 4th, it's out. If you have premium or premium upgrade or the collector's edition, you will be able to just access that. If you only have like the base version of the game, it will be accessible and you can purchase it as a standalone as well. But you need to have the base game to be able to enjoy the DLC.
Okay, amazing. I can't wait to play myself and get that theme song stuck in my head all over again. I can't wait.
Nice.
Well, Axel, Zeke, it's been so much fun chatting all things Order of Giants. Congratulations again on the main game. Can't wait to play it, and maybe we should go over to the Indiana Jones booth over there and have a look at the puzzles there.
Yeah,
but
indeed.
yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Now, from ourselves here at the Xbox at Gamescom broadcast, we have a very special edition of the official Call of Duty podcast. But first, we're about to fall into the disturbing world of Chronos, the New Dawn, the latest nightmare from Bloober Team. I can't wait to play. Let's join the Traveler in their fight to survive and enjoy some never-before-seen gameplay.
Hello, my name is Wojciech Pinko and I'm a game director of Chronos, the New Dawn. And today I'll be your guide through the abandoned factory, which actually was a ground zero for the disease, the change that wiped out humanity. So let's quickly bind weapons to shortcuts. And let's go. In Chronos you can break crates to find more loot, which will be really important. And the first enemy. No signs of life. I think we are safe. So let's move forward.
And then you only find 2 shotgun shells.
And these guys are definitely alive. Combat in Chronos may be quite challenging, and the enemies can hit hard. And merge, that shot prevented the merge. And the biomass can also spawn monsters, so be aware wherever you are. And this guy also wanted to merge, but not on our watch. Let's use the flamethrower to interrupt the merge, stun the enemy, and finish him off with the shotgun. We are calling it the Hammer.
I don't like games where your flashlight flickers for
And
no
the new
actual
one.
reason.
I think this one is, it's the
Like,
puker.
if this is a
It
disease,
has a range attack,
why
so
would the
let's
disease
get far away and use a barrel to destroy the enemies.
make it so
Using
that your
environment is also
technology
super
doesn't
important.
work?
Don't forget that you can also charge your weapons. So please notice that the Traveler sometimes presses the trigger to fire a single bullet, but also sometimes charges it so the bullet will have more damage, but will also got a piercing ability. Of course, I'm talking right now about the pistol. The shotgun works different. The shotgun increases the spread when you're charging the weapon. And the big guy just woke up. This is charging, the weapon has been charged, and we've got hit. Let's switch weapon to the submachine gun. The big guy wants to merge, so again, using a flamethrower to interrupt the merge. Remember, don't let them merge. Use also the canister that was set in the environment, and the enemy is gone. It's worth to exploring the area to find supply boxes left by the collective and other travelers. So the trick is that the collective is sending only one traveler at a time. to not too much with the time flow, since they are, of course, jumping in time. So the game, starts when your predecessor went off radar, and then you are picking up his mission. Let's squeeze through, and I can hear some monsters. Oh, and the soul, the essence of someone we extracted before, is talking to us. Oh, the Joe grabbed us. We called this monster Joe. It's like a sticking or being attached to a wall, ceilings, and it can grab you as a traps. But you can hear them always, like, yeah, there is one more. And now, he will not grab us. We can safely loot the place.
This looks like a wannabe Dead Space, to be honest. That's not necessarily a bad thing, 'cause Dead Space is awesome.
Less biomass, a good sign. Oh no, there is more. And we can hear roars, so more Jaws will be here. So let's squeeze in and look for them. Yeah, there's one. Charge shot. And more growls means that the area isn't clear yet. Yes. One more charge shot, one more down. And I don't hear them anymore. I think this sector is clear. So we can grab more ammo. And let's go back. Oh, this one has spikes on its body. It means that, yeah, it's more powerful than previous monsters. He hit really hard. Reposition is a key to victory in Chronos. Yeah, you need to act fast. Yeah, charge your weapons like this. That was a juicy shot.
It's really funny that this dude is just talking about the gameplay rather than actually playing it and narrating his play. You can tell by the way he's talking about it and stuff.
And the shower area. This body has tentacles on it. It means that it may be absorbed by the other monsters. And here they come. Let's grab a flamethrower ammo. Oh yeah. Now we can interrupt merge again. And stomp. Still alive? Not for long. The gates are detecting monsters and they are sometimes closing you with them, but if you dispatch them, the gates will open. Those gates are also built by other travelers to lock some areas infested by the monsters. Oh, and we are in more open space. There are some tents left here by the military that was trying to fight with the outbreak of the disease. And there is a barrel. I will use it to burn the biomass and get in the secret area. Shell patch. This is like a health pack and a lot of loot. And here comes the armored enemy. Its body is covered with the armor, so you need to aim at the exposed parts. Oh yeah, you can see that the bullets are bouncing off the armor, but I think the chest is exposed, so yeah, let's use it against him.
Funny, that's a triple barrel shotgun.
And this stand seems clear. So as a traveler, you must constantly be aware of your surroundings. Like loot every place you can. Also, you can craft some ammunition, for example. We need to make a space for more crafting materials. So yeah, torch fuel also will be needed. And now we can grab more metal scraps from the shelf. Use a health patch to heal ourselves, and let's delve into the rest of the factory. Isolation zone. Doesn't sound good. I think that's a great place to stop. Thank you.
Very 3 out of 10 for me.
It's time to wake up.
I might play if it's actually good, but it doesn't look like anything too special.
No more games. This ends now.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Welcome, everyone, to the crossover event of the century. That's right, folks, the official Call of Duty podcast, the COD Pod, and we are back taking over Gamescom here on the Xbox broadcast. Don't know how they let this happen, but we're in, baby. My name is Miles Ross. I'm the host of the COD Pod, joined, as ever, by my partner in crime at Activision, Stephanie Snowden.
Hello,
mate.
Miles. We took the COD Pod on the road all the way to North Germany. It's my first time at Gamescom. It's been awesome because the official reveal of Black Ops 7 happened last night at Opening Night Live, and it was incredible.
It was a big one, and we have a huge amount of information to get through today about Black Ops 7. Tons of juicy details and wonderful tidbits of gameplay. We're not going to do it alone, though. More on that later.
Yeah, we've got some special guests joining us later in this show. But yes, at ONL, we got the very first look at Black Ops 7, which is coming later this year, and there's so much to get into. There's so much content. This game has so much to talk about, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg for us. So we're going to get a little deeper on the co-op campaign, and specifically the end game, which is part of the co-op campaign, but a world, an experience that unlocks after you complete the linear campaign. We're going to get into the juicy details.
Okay. More on the deep dive in co-op campaign a bit later on, but Steph, thousands of fans tuning in online as well to check this trailer out, and it was very, very cool here in person as well at Gamescom. Absolutely fantastic. Gamescom's been great.
Yeah, I mean, being in the room for Opening Night Live is something that I've never experienced, and just meeting so many Call of Duty fans in person, getting chills. I thought what Natalie and Miles did on stage, and the lights, and getting the Menendez experience, right?
He scared the life out of the crowd.
He did. There was
woman in front of me audibly jumped.
Audible gasps in there. But it's not just Opening Night Live, because we dropped the official Black Ops 7 Developer Direct on the Call of Duty YouTube channel. Definitely check that out if you haven't. So yeah, we just have, a few things to talk about.
That was a nutrient-rich the direct was great, just a few, but we're going to get into it. So Steph, let's start high level. What are some of the key things to look forward to here in Black Ops 7?
So I think some of the most important things to know about Black Ops 7 are it's set in 2035, right? So this is 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2, if you're familiar with Black Ops 2. So think of that near future. It's not quite in reach. It's got ties to BO2, ties to BO6, Black Ops 6, our last game. And like I said, so much content. We have the 3 core modes with campaign, multiplayer, and zombies coming to Black Ops 7. And we've also got Dead Ops Arcade, we've got zombie survival maps, we've got global progression across the game, which means for the first time you can actually earn XP, progress your weapons, earn all the good things, make your gameplay super rewarding, including in campaign. And we've got David Mason is back. Raul Menendez is back. This is a story that Treyarch and Raven have wanted to tell. It's a David Mason story. There's so much so much to talk about.
But also being able to progress through my ranks in campaign is a big one. More on the campaign coming up. But let's go to multiplayer. Place very close to my heart, and there is some serious goodies to get through there.
Yeah, so we only got a little bit, a little bit of intel in the developer direct and in the reveal about multiplayer. So there's lots more to come, which we're gonna, get into a little later in the show. But tons of content coming to MP and some really exciting innovations. Maps, maybe we jump in there?
Well, there's 16 of them, right? 16 6v6 maps, which is
How'd they mess that up?
There's a ton to get through as players. 3 of those will be remasters. Absolute bangers there.
Yeah,
Again,
Raid, Hijack, and Express.
Yeah, some absolute classics.
There we got to look at Raid in Japan.
It's got a fresh coat of paint. It looks great. Also the 220 maps, which is fantastic. It's all huge. And that
it's like his
2035
mic just keeps
sort of plastered across the board there.
picking
We're really
him up
getting
and picking up more in the
very
background.
shiny and gorgeous new card.
Treyarch's really pushed on clear lane definition on these maps in Black Ops 7. I think that, like you said, the 2035
So
aesthetic
sick of
has
lane
allowed
maps,
them
though.
to create really clean lanes. There are some really, really cool maps that just have sort of a different finish than we might be used to in some other Call of Duty maps. So I think it's going to be a fresh
I also don't
take
like the
on-
maps where
on
they're
some
perfectly
classics, but also
symmetrical and
some
both sides
really
have the same
solid,
whatever.
maps that I know Treyarch's
I like them
been
when they're
listening
just
to, map
random ass
feedback,
maps.
And I'm excited to get my hands on them in the beta, so I can't wait.
Super excited. Well, we've set our board. We've got our maps. Now let's talk about some pieces. Weapons. Many, many, many weapons in this game, Steph.
Yes, there's 16 all new to the franchise weapons coming at launch, which is awesome. So nothing we've ever seen in Call of Duty before. You may have noticed I saw some eagle-eyed fans catch the Peacekeeper and some of the marketing, which is an exciting return. But also, I think a lot of these weapons are sort of like an homage to the Black Ops 2 weapons in a way.
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw the M8 in there. Of course, we're seeing a couple of classics and burst weapons in there as well. But lots as well, not just the weapons, but also streaks. We've got gadgets, we've got gear, we've got equipment.
The gadgets and gear, like I said, I think 2035 really opens up what the devs want to do. It kind of like, we use the word unchained at the studio, just because I think it's really creatively given them the opportunity to deliver, things that we haven't seen in Call of Duty before that still feel grounded, still feel like the combat that you know and love, but with a fresh new take in that near future kind of setting. So I'm really excited about the streaks personally. We saw a little bit of Dog, we saw Rhino, there's more.
I cannot wait. I've heard that they are mean. Looking forward to some mean streaks. But not just streaks. While we're talking about changes, there is next level Omni movement.
Yeah, next level Omni movement is really exciting because Treyarch's refined the core movement. Omni movement was obviously a really massive innovation in Black Ops 6, and they continued to build on that with the near future setting, changing a couple of things, adding wall jump. We've increased the base sprint speed, and also tac sprint is now disabled by default, but you can enable it with a perk.
Yeah, so you've still got the player choice there. You can still build that loadout that way, which is really cool.
Yeah,
I think
the map's built for next level Omni movement, right? So you're going to be able to have that playground.
Well, the wall jump clips already look really cool. So we're not only changing movement, we're also changing a new feature outright, which is the overclock feature. Can you explain that? Yes. We're not talking about CPUs.
Not talking about CPUs. Overclocks is one of the coolest innovations coming to Black Ops 7, and they're really intended to give players further choice in terms of customization for your own unique playstyle. So you can overclock equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks. So basically, by playing throughout the match, you're going to unlock the customization option. One that comes to mind off the top of my head, we were talking about before, the care package, right? So overclock 1 for the care package, you're going to be able to re-roll your streak. Option 2, or overclock 2, you're going to have the option to decrease cost of overclock. And there's some really awesome ones that we saw in the developer direct. So like I said, go check that out. But I think this is something we're really excited about.
That does sound really cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. Gosh, there's still... Guys, we're nowhere near done here. We've got a lot to get through still. Progression being a big one. We touched on it slightly at the start, whereby playing campaign can earn you progression
Yeah, so
points as well.
global progression, that you feel like your time is rewarded across
There we
any,
go.
you
I
know,
was gonna say.
anything that you're playing in the game. And
Good job, IGN. me try pausing because maybe it is on my end.
Across, anything.
Nope, it is on their end. Okay.
One, and it's something that we're really excited about. Classic Prestige obviously made a return in Black Ops 6, so the team is really building on that foundation, and you're going to be able to unlock a deeper weapon progression journey than ever before, or unique attachments, weapon charms, I think you mentioned, camos. Very exciting.
A lot's going on. Okay, so talking about weapons, staying on the topic, build sharing.
Yeah.
Because there's always that one person in the group chat that's like, hey man, what's the best
What's the
build
meta?
to use? I'm like,
Send me the meta.
I'm not going to send you all this information. Instead, I'm going to send you a code.
I'm going to send you a code. That's right. It's going to be great for people like you who no one's asking me for my weapon builds, but you guys should be. You don't know. But it's going to be really exciting. Content creators, streamers, folks in the community who are constantly sharing, what their loadouts are. This is going to make things really streamlined. You'll have a code. Each unique build will have a code in Gunsmith that you can actually screenshot, send to your friends. They can, put that in as long as you have the attachments unlocked. You can equip it.
That's great.
It's gonna be great.
That is a game changer, I think.
Yeah.
For many folks. Yeah, that's going to be pinned at the top of group chats around the world.
And
I will always hate build
we can't forget
shares.
zombies because we only got a teeny tiny little
Because
taste of
just
what
make
is
a
coming
weapon that
to
you like.
Zombies and Black Ops 7 because
Shouldn't
the
be
dedicated
looking for
zombies
meta weapons
reveal
just 'cause
is
you're bad at
just
game.
A few weeks away.
Ooh, we can't just give you a little bit. There's a lot to give for the
There's a lot to give. It needs its own. We had to make a zombies week out of it, basically.
A week of
so
zombies
much.
goodness. But the original crew has made a return, and obviously the Dark Ether has flung them up against some old pals.
Yeah,
Old foes.
at the end of the Black Ops 6 story, we see, a version of the Black Ops 6 crew seemingly in the Dark Ether with some version of the original crew. In the developer direct, we got just a peek at what we think could be the big bad of Black Ops 7.
Yeah.
Definitely an ominous villain may have appeared.
Well, we've got a lot going on there
Yeah,
still.
and survival maps.
Jinx.
So excited.
They're back for the first time since BO2. Really exciting there as well. Steph, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this is definitely the how long can you last in tighter spaces kind of vibe, and I think that people are going to be really excited for that experience to come to Zombies. So more on that soon before I get dragged off the desk.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. But also, while on the topic
I wish
of
she
zombies
would
still,
talk a
we've
little
got
faster,
Dead
though.
Ops
She
That's
is
also happening. So
dragging
twin
out
stick, top-down, zombie-centric
Just
shooter,
so
earning its fee for your progression as well. Go up, Global.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype in the chat last night when the Dead Ops Arcade 4 announce was there. And so this is so cool. If you don't know what Dead Ops Arcade is, Treyarch, has put this in the last, some of the games. And it's a really exciting experience because it's a game within a game. And now you can earn XP for playing that as well. So more on that.
I get to hear the sort of Black Ops 7 rank up sound in every
I don't
mode.
remember
I'm
if I
playing
ever
now, which is
beat,
gonna be fantastic.
Dead
Up
Ops
next, we're going to be
back in
diving
the
into
day.
the co-op campaign with our guests from Treyarch and Raven. But first is the official Black Ops 7 reveal trailer.
They want you afraid. Fear makes you easier to control. It's time to wake up.
You're in the
Your
Matrix.
streets shall once again run red with your blood.
Raul Menendez ignited global unrest on an unprecedented scale.
Menendez is a terrorist. We're bringing peace and security to the world.
He refuses to let me go. Stop looking backwards, Dayton. What matters is what we do next.
A lot of people counting on us for answers.
Spectre 1, report. Need a sit rep.
Like the most messed up version of
This isn't real.
The hell it ain't! eager to leave, David. Killing a man is a hell of a lot
David.
easier than killing
That's
the
right.
idea.
I was just thinking, I'm like, what if Frank's in your, like, Woods is in your dreams and stuff? He's just chilling, waiting to kill Menendez even in your dreams.
Get the Reznov Challenge Pack when you pre-order now.
Welcome back. That trailer is so fun to watch. I never get tired of hearing Metallica and watching that, but I want to welcome in our developer guests. We have Miles Leslie, Associate Creative Director at Treyarch, and
It really
Natalie
is the most
Dvorsky,
weird version
lead producer
of
on the campaign
Puppet.
at Raven
Master of
Software.
Puppets.
Guys, you've been on a tour.
Let's go.
We're so
Let's go.
We are so pumped
Where's the
to
enter
be
scene
here.
at?
Let's go.
You've been
think it was-
on a journey.
Yes.
We've all been on a journey at Gamescom.
What day is
It's
it?
been
Let's
busy.
go.
Yes, exactly.
So
But
tired, let me check.
how BO7 is out in the world. Black Ops 7 is here. It's out there. It's been so cool to see people react to it. How does it feel for you guys to finally be able to
It
talk
is
about the
Master of
game?
Puppets, okay.
Oh, incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, things have blown open at this point. So we've been eager to talk about this game for a long time. We've been developing it for a while.
I don't know why I keep
We have a lot of
second-guessing
stuff in
myself
store
about
for you
music
guys, so
knowledge
we can't wait
lately.
to tell you more about it.
Yes, let's go. I'm so excited. We love that we can talk about more of the game, not all of it, sorry, but more of it. I think we're really excited about the reception already, super positive. It's a big game.
It's a big game, a lot of content. So, Miles, set the stage for us, right? We know that this game takes place in 2035. We know that's 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2. What kind of world are we, walking into at Black Ops 7?
Yeah, I love this question. So, ever since we left Black Ops 2 and we left David Mason in the world, we always wanted to go back to it. There was a story there to be told, but it was never the right time. Black Ops 7 was that time. We wanted to go to David Mason. He has been through some stuff. He's changed. The world has changed from those 2025 attacks. And now 10 years later, world is still dealing with it. David's still dealing with his own trauma. And now Raul is back. And so the world's like, a what?
Huh?
Say no what now? Like they're barely getting over last time, and now he's back again, and now David has to deal and really come face to face with that, and Raul, and then it pops off.
Yeah, but if you've never played a Black Ops game, you can also just jump into this story, right?
That is the beauty when we crafted this from the start, was we love pulling threads, and really for the fans that know, get that payoff. But if you don't know anything, there's no homework required.
Yeah.
You can jump into this and have a great time. And maybe you become a fan of, hey, this David Mason guy, he's kind of messed up. I want to learn more.
I like it.
You can go back to BO2 and kind of become a fan of the other games that connect into it.
I replayed BO2 last year.
Yeah.
Great.
Epic.
I'll be hitting the YouTube recap videos because they are plentiful, lots of those. Natalie, okay, we've got some OGs, we've got David, we've got, Menendez. Some of the new faces. Can you share any fun nugs about those guys?
Oh, I would love to. So let's start with Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild. She's fascinating. She was essentially a child prodigy. She's brilliant. She worked her way up. She has a background in computational economics and robotics, which makes her the perfect person to be running this company that is the Guild. And she has a really, she has ideas about how to deal with this, and she's a leader, and she has people to back her up. But sometimes, again, this sort of puts her in a weird place with David and his team, who are trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. So she's a really interesting character and introduces us more, or reintroduces us to the Guilds. And then one of our JSOC operators who's on David's team that we're really excited about is Leilani 5050 Tupola. And so she's a soldier from New Zealand who is so dedicated that she, after being diagnosed with a degenerative disease, she was taken out of the field and she opted for limb augmentation to get back. So she's got a bionic arm and leg. And she is intimidating, but she also has such a fun energy and personality to her, so she's a great fit for the team.
Yeah, she was doing some really badass stuff in the trailer.
She, as soon as we saw her in game, and even when we met Frankie Adams, who plays, we knew she was like, oh, she's just always been in Black Ops. Like, it just fits.
She's such a good fit.
I saw that foot as well, that giant mechanical foot, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to get used.
So let's talk a little bit about gameplay, Miles. This is a linear campaign, but we know that Black Ops delivers on these mind-bending experiences. So in terms of mission variety, you know, what can we expect the campaign experience to be like?
Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
We wanted to really push on that variety. You heard us talk about it yesterday. You saw it in the trailer. We're going to a lot of unique places. Some real, some are bend reality hallucinations that you'll understand why in the story. But we really wanted to push into that 2035, Japan, Alaska, Los Angeles, Angola, and that is spread also not even in co-op campaign, but also in multiplayer, where you can revisit these locations that have narrative and story tie-in as well, which is really exciting, and really feels like we're pushing it. Like, you haven't seen this.
Yeah. And what about Avalon? I've heard that, you know, Avalon is a big part of the campaign. You know, what can we expect there?
Yeah, Avalon's great. You know, Natalie hinted at, we've been seeding this. We kind of first got introduced in Avalon and Black Ops 6, and now you get to kind of see the whole thing. First, through the linear campaign, you're going to get little pieces of it, and then after you complete the main campaign, it all unlocks an end game, and really all of Avalon opens up, and now the world is your oyster in the end game of Avalon.
More on Endgame in a moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Sorry, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Avalon. I fell out of Skyline, and I was like, "Wow, this is nice."
I know Miles is like, I'm always falling out of that window on that map, and I was like, "That's you're there."
Also, Stakeout is in Avalon.
Stakeout's in Avalon.
Well,
you can also
what do you
fall
know?
into that courtyard in Stakeout.
Yes, you can.
So there you go.
Oh, don't reel it back. Reel it back. This is the job of the host. Okay, back to the campaign. What makes this campaign unique, Miles? Because obviously, COD bombastic time every time. Endgame sounds pretty funky. Is there anything else you can share that makes this one unique?
Oh yeah, I think from the start we wanted it to be a co-op experience, and that's twofold. One is the story. Natalie touched on this. Our characters in our hero squad, the 4 of them, they're like a family. They're like, each is a piece of a puzzle. Natalie said this, and I love this term, is we put them together, they play off of each other, but as we were developing, we wanted players to immerse those heroes as well and really embody each single hero, and now you can do that with your friends. It's a shared experience, it's really exciting, and then on top of that, we really wanted for the first time that you and your friends can really move between any part of the game, and that was huge for us. So you want to jump
the whole game's co-op.
The whole game. You want to be in co-op campaign? Great. And then you're like, hey, let's do MP. Go to MP. Done with MP, let's go to zombies. Done with zombies, let's go to endgame. Done with endgame, go to DOA 4. It just keeps going.
There's no game in the world that you could co-op the whole thing.
I was running out of fingers.
This is a co-op podcast.
What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
was like all the ways.
Fangirling. No, I love it personally because I'm a single-player girly.
Yeah.
And so I can get intimidated by some of these other spaces, but I'm so excited by co-op because being able to explore with friends, and it's sort of this entry, you know, into the multiplayer world, and then, you know, maybe once I get built up a little bit, maybe once I go through Endgame,
COD
maybe I'll
Squad.
jump on over.
I was going to
Let's
say,
go.
you can't choose your family, but you can choose your co-op team.
That's true.
Family.
I think we found it.
Tell them.
Okay, now as promised, we're going to getting to the end of our time with you guys. So Endgame, finally,
Yes.
we've been talking about it, but I really want to dig into what the Endgame experience is for the Black Ops 7 campaign. Tell us what it's about.
Yeah, so this is really exciting. So we're bringing that innovative co-op campaign. Like we said, it's a linear experience. When you finish the co-op campaign, you're going to get a satisfying ending, and then really we think about it as this final proving ground, but we've been talking about it almost as an epilogue, is if you want to go into Endgame, you can. I know there's been talks about it. It's optional, but it's in there and it's addictive. So you get in there, squad of 4, 32 players are in Avalon with you, 8 squads, right? And it's about getting in and surviving. That is the key. And it really unlocks everything. All of Avalon, you can now choose your operator, you can build your loadout, you can bring in all the abilities that you've been taught over the campaign, and it's about surviving and pushing into the harder regions. And it's really hard, and it's really fun, and you're going to meet some really crazy, twisted things, and then it's about getting your operator power up. You're going to get progressively more powerful, and you want to survive to the end to keep some of the cool skills you might have gotten on the way.
So that's your combat rating.
That's
so you
your
are
combat rating,
unlocking skills and abilities as you level up.
Which
your
also
operator.
means
What
SBMM is
happens
going to just
my-
crush you down.
My operator, if I
If you don't,
do not escape.
if you don't
If I'm a
survive,
sweat
yeah.
lord.
So there are consequences if you don't. You will lose some of those skills that you brought in, and it's a really satisfying, I want to say simplified approach to this loop, this sort of almost roguelike, you know, for us, it's pulling the legacy of zombies, right, which is a social storytelling of survivability, right? We've been doing that a long time. Outbreak, RBC.
Oh,
Yeah. So this brings all that sort of energy into this co-op more accessible approach, which is really, really exciting.
That's really, really
Sick.
exciting. I'm so excited for Endgame.
It's super
I'm sure we're
addicting.
going to be talking a lot about
we
it.
will be playtesting it, and everyone's like, okay, we're done. And,
Are we? One more game.
One more run.
I'm one of those players. I always do the campaign first.
Yes.
Campaign first every time. But now I'm worried that with Endgame, I'm never going to leave.
It's just never. It's just going to be here forever.
I'm just trapped. I can't get out.
Not only that, but like you touched on it, the global progression. Now we're rewarding you anywhere you play, and that is huge.
I could emerge.
Dedicated camo track in the campaign for the first time, so you can unlock. You know, you can level up your weapons. You can unlock camos. You can do complete challenges all in the campaign with your friends.
So you're saying I could come out of my Endgame hole I've been in for weeks?
Yeah. Welcome back to the light.
Prestige 2, kitted out with camos and stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I'm in.
Really
Sign me up.
exciting. Okay, so we want to end the segment with just a couple rapid fire
Do we?
questions. You don't.
No.
I mean, you don't.
Okay.
There's an end game to this segment. We'll be in the Xbox booth.
One more run.
Okay. This is just give me the first
Top off
name
the
that comes to mind. Which
Off the dome.
Black Ops 7 character are you picking to have your back in a fight? Miles.
David Mason. I know that he's going to.
Woods. All day.
He's either going to shut it down or he's going to protect me because I'm a little baby bird behind. No, you're like,
He
get him,
also
David.
attack. Yeah. Natalie.
I would say Samuels, because I can be a little chaotic,
That's a good
and
one.
he would bring me down to earth. And
He's the level-headed
He'd be
one.
like,
have
stand
my
down,
back.
Natalie.
Yeah,
stand
he'd be
down.
like, calm down, I got
She's like,
this.
pull me back.
Pull me back, bro.
All right, Natalie, who have you got spotting you at the gym?
Oh, God. I mean, it has to be 50. First of all, I don't frequent the gym personally, believe it or not. And so I would need her as a spotter because if anything goes down, I mean, she's locked in.
It's like a one-handed save.
Yeah. Okay.
And the best nickname.
Curveball for me is we have Troy Marshall back.
Yes.
He's a little bit older, but I would absolutely want him as a trainer in the gym because he's got that old man energy. He was an elite operator, and I feel like he's gonna be like one more rep. I can't do it, Marshall. I can't. One more. There it is.
I saw a post recently that was just like, you know, if you see Troy Marshall show up at anything, he's aura farming.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, that is correct. That
Oh
is-
yeah.
He knows,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah,
knows
yeah.
What's up.
He's got good stories too.
Yes.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, so
Special
exciting.
edition of the Call of Duty podcast.
One more.
Live
Okay, I'll
on
stop,
the
I'll stop.
Xbox broadcast. I know we're going to be chanting. We're probably going to get kicked out. But it's like so great to have you guys here. Congratulations on the reveal
Thank you so
of
much.
Black Ops 7, especially to all the teams at the studios, the Treyarch and Raven,
Shout out
and
to
all the Call of Duty
everyone.
teams.
So much
We are-
work and love getting
Yes.
poured into this game.
Yeah, we're really happy to represent the teams and everyone
Yeah.
that's been building it. And the fans, you're gonna love it. New fans, come on in.
Yeah.
Can't wait to not see the light of day for months. I'm really, really excited,
We'll
guys.
see you there.
Guys, thank you so much again. Thank you. Steph, mate, it's been a Gamescom.
It went quickly. I don't know what happened. We were just starting our section, and all of a sudden it's over, and I want to do it again.
Well, I mean, the fun thing is that was the tip of the iceberg for Black Ops 7. It feels like news-wise.
Yes. Like I said, there's so much to this game, tons of work going into it. It's a lot of content, a lot of exciting things we haven't talked about yet. So while this has been a really awesome reveal, it's been my first time here at Gamescom, my first time in Germany, meeting the Call of Duty fans here, seeing so many like-minded people who are passionate about video games in one place, especially here at Xbox, has been awesome. And I just want to give a special shout out to the COD Pod squad, the COD Pod team. Thank you. Xbox broadcast team, thank you for inviting us. We promise if you invite us back, we'll behave.
Well, we'll have a good time.
We'll have a good
all
time.
have a good time. But yeah, more Black Ops 6 news coming real soon. That's right, folks. Call of Duty Next is around the corner, September 30th. We'll have streamers and content creators around the world crammed into one location to get hands-on gameplay with multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone.
And our multiplayer beta kicks off right after Call of Duty next, with early access October 2nd to the 5th, with the open beta October 5th through the 8th. And of course, we'll see all of you when Black Ops 7 launches on November 14th.
It's in the calendar. It's 100% in the calendar, folks. Find everything we talked about today on the next episode of the Call of Duty podcast, coming soon. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast, whether it be Apple, YouTube, Spotify, wherever it may be. Go for it. Like it. We'll see you there.
We can't wait to see you there. But for even more details on Black Ops 7, you can check out the Developer Direct on the official Call of Duty YouTube channels or the COD blog for more of the intel.
Yes, please. Xbox, we love you. Thank you so much for having us. There's so much more Xbox here at Gamescom in store for you because there's another full day of live broadcast coming your way. That's all from us. Charlie, take it away.
Thanks, Miles. How cool is that to have the COD pod on the team? Fantastic. So today we have learned a ton about new games, got exclusive live reveals, never before seen gameplay footage, and an important new chapters to existing franchises like, I don't know, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle,
The dude in the background.
Lego, Tropico, Invincible, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The list has gone on. Of course, we're only halfway through our broadcast here at Xbox at Gamescom, where the fun continues tomorrow with another 4 hours of up-to-the-minute coverage on all the convention highlights we can cram in. But I want to know, Henry, how's your day been?
Oh, it's been fantastic, Charlie. Thanks so much. Like you say, though, we're almost done with day one. And in case you lost track, that makes over a dozen games today that are Xbox Play Anywhere, seamlessly transferring your gaming experience from PC to console to handheld and back again. We'll be showing off even more fresh gameplay tomorrow. We're going to be dropping trailers and continuing to stack up those Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Game Pass rosters. We're going to have updates on Lego Batman, At Fate's End, Silent Hill F, Overwatch 2, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Ninja Gaiden 4, and much, much more. And we might even have a few more fun surprises up our sleeve too. Cheeky. It's going to be a rich, full day of all the news, big and small, from the world's largest games convention, Gamescom. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, new games. Cheers!
Everyone just swiped that guy's code.
Gaming playground in the world.
All
Where
right,
500,000
this is
people
the
come
replay, I
together to
believe.
play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors.
Okay,
The
so
biggest.
we're gonna pause it there. We'll come back to it for day 2 tomorrow. Hope you all had fun. I mean, there were some interesting ones, so I imagine you had a good time. Let's get that wisdom and head on out. Oh, and thank you once again to LFE Pappy for that follow. Welcome, Mobile Infantry Trooper. Now you're one of us. Alright. It's not really dad wisdom, but it is something you can do. Make someone's day, and under this video, or wherever my socials are that you prefer, leave a picture of your pet. Or you can leave it in the Discord. Anyways, and then for today's Uncle Shenanigans, I'm here to spread love and cheeks, and baby, I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Have a wonderful evening. It's been Beard. Later.